Welcome to Wednesday Comics.
Brought to you by rootsoftheswampthing.com and Siouxpercon 2018 Return of the Con.
Hey everyone, keep turning those pages.
Welcome to Wednesday Comics. To my left, we have Ryan himself. Alex, how you doing?
Hello everyone. That
And
surprised me.
to my right, we have Mr. Miracle himself. Garrett, how you doing?
Whoa,
Nicest name you've ever been called.
I guess, man. I get some nice,
dark
well, I
side
can't
over
say
here.
what I want to say, but sweet. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no fucking
And
shit.
I am your host
I'm
himself,
dead.
the God Among Gods, Dark Side. Hey guys, I got people making a copy of me in a movie coming out called Avengers 4. Thanos, fake. Me, real. I'm first.
Yeah, that's right.
Dark Side is. Should we show up to that movie with picket signs that just say Dark Side is?
Oh,
That'd
snap.
be pretty good.
You know, there's rumors for, well, what would have been Justice League, or at least the second part, that Liam Neeson was going to be Darkseid.
No, not good.
What? He's got a specific set of skills.
Oh my gosh, Commuter 2
Or that too.
just comes in.
Liam Nielsen as
Liam
Darkseid.
Neeson. You said Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen, the guy who died. Airplane. I would have been more okay with that.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun?
Naked Gun,
Yeah.
yeah.
He would have been like Darkseid. My name's Darkseid.
was once the
Oh,
pink-
they would have called him fucking Darkseid
Darkseid.
and be like, Darkseid. This guy, fucking Darkseid.
Why?
He was once the Pink Panther, wasn't he?
No, that's the guy that.
Steve Martin.
No, that's the remake. You're thinking of Peter Wellers.
Oh, okay.
Peter Wellers? No, that's not his name.
I don't know.
From Doctor Strangelove. Played Doctor Strangelove.
Oh, fuck.
You hate that movie, so you wouldn't
So
know.
much.
I can walk. I love that movie.
Oh, that's the worst part of that.
We
movie.
are your weekly comic book podcast. We're here to talk some reviews and do a little game at
For the first
end.
time in
We haven't
2018.
done a feature in a while, so we're gonna loosen up with a game called Flashbacks. Hasn't been around in a second, but it's gonna come back today. Up top, we're gonna talk about a couple things. A little quick shot. He's gonna call it.
That was Marvin having a
You know what?
seizure.
I'm glad we don't do the video anymore.
Yeah. That was me.
Our guests would have just watched you at a stroke.
Do you ever have an old car and like it's going and just that's what happened to me. An old car. We're gonna do a quick thing here. Let me do a little. What do you call it?
Sizzle.
First,
Warm up.
we were going to talk about that Krypton trailer for a second. Came out. Me and Garrett watched it. Alex obviously didn't because he's never on the internet. He is on the internet, but he goes directly to what he wants to know and then gets off.
That's true.
You're
have time
like
for
that
bullshit.
roller coaster of the internet. You get on, you're on a specific path, you go through it, and that's it. Me and Garrett, we're free range, baby.
We just go everywhere.
We're like a Red Dead Redemption. We can go anywhere we want to. You, straight line.
Have you played that game?
No, not yet.
Okay,
good.
Yes.
Krypton. Saw this trailer. Garrett, what do you think?
I think it's a horrible idea of a show. It's cool that there's a lot of like Superman memorabilia. They're on Krypton. There's a lot of problems though with it. Like L family crest is everywhere. Like, are they like the ruling body of Krypton? No, so that doesn't make any sense. They did.
You're right. If they were,
Right.
then people would have taken them seriously when they're like, hey, the planet's going to fucking blow up.
Right. Exactly. And it's about his grandfather and Superman's current villains going to the past to kill his grandpa. Dumbest idea ever, and no wonder because it's written by David S. Goyer, who's the dumbest.
That
man.
trailer, like everything looks super like dark, and I don't even mean like gritty wise. I mean like lighting wise. Like they didn't have any light bulbs on that set. Two, like you said, I just saw the trailer and was like, I'm fucking bored by this trailer. I'm gonna watch an episode. I'm gonna watch an episode of this. The only thing I found cool was that cape.
Yeah,
I was like,
they had the original Christopher Reeve Superman
that's
S
what I was
cape.
like, yeah, it was
Because
original
it's
one.
the S symbol and it's like curved. It's not necessarily like sharp in the symbol. But I also didn't like the actual logo, Superman logo they use at the end of that trailer. It's forcing the Man of Steel logo with the Christopher Reeve logo and like crunching it all into one Superman S, and it looks horrible. Sorry, am I talking too close to the mic?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
Weird.
I had some feedback.
I like this mic. It's so good. Ew.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I saw that. I was like,
Well, this coming from David S. Goyer, told us a long time that we'll never see Martian Manhunter on fucking screen ever.
That's true. I mean, it's from somebody I know I don't like.
Yeah.
It's the concept that I don't like. And I go, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll watch the trailer and see if I'm interested. Watch the trailer and I'm like, this thing doesn't look entertaining at all.
Well, you told me that it I don't know if it sounded like, but it looks like Inhumans.
Well,
it looks
just because it's
cheap.
pilot.
It looks
yeah.
cheap.
Right.
That's what I meant by it's like Inhumans. It looks cheap. It looks like they were like, hey, we got this high concept. And they're like, all right, we'll give you $50 to do it. All right, fuck. That's what Inhumans was. Yeah. It was like they need money to do that story, and they're like, you get $100. Like, the fuck? I bet you anything Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gets way more money, and that is low. You can do that low concept.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, you guys don't get any money.
Yeah, this whole thing's a MacGuffin. Like, it's seriously, like, not needed.
Which surprises me that, at least Inhumans wise, you've got this whole universe that you're already building into with the movies and even some of the TV shows. Give people the money they need to tell the right story. This, just in general, Krypton sounds like shit.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is? I'm pretty sure DC or Warner Brothers or somebody is like, if you want Superman, you can't do anything with Superman proper. So they're like, okay, we'll do something in that universe. And maybe even they're like, hey, since Jor-El was in Man of Steel, like, oh, you can't do that either. So they're like, oh, fuck, what about his dad? And you know what? That's why the only reason why I can think they'd be like, let's go way back. Like, why go way back? Maybe because they want somebody who they can do their own thing with.
Right.
But even still, like, I would rather them be like, this whole thing is non-canon. It probably isn't anyways.
No.
It won't be.
So why couldn't they be like, hey, DC, like, none of this is canon. We're going to tell like a what if story.
But they'd be like in Supergirl. Isn't there a Superman now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that canon?
Well, that show turned out to be good.
It's they do a multiverse now. So technically it is.
So it's canon within the TV universe.
You know how
Yes.
DC has multiple universe? It's like the TV universe.
So, I mean, so I guess for me, it's just one of those things is that this isn't even part of that thing.
But the first season, though, they referred to him like my cousin and stuff like that. They wouldn't say his name. And then the second season, the show was so good and people liked it so much. Then they were like, okay, you can do it.
They finally established the line.
So I think that's what it is. Is like you can't do it unless you're like you
pay
prove
your dues.
yourself.
Okay.
But then I don't know. It just seems Sci-Fi has actually had some good shows recently. So there's some stuff that I'm excited for. The Deadly Class is going to be on Sci-Fi, and I just watched Happy, which was on Sci-Fi, and Happy's great. So it made me excited for Deadly Class. But then I see this, and I'm like,
They're just rolling. It seems like money grabbing only for the fact because it's like Superman's one of the most popular superheroes out there.
They could have done a Legion of
superheroes.
Legion.
That would have been freaking awesome.
But that's what I was thinking. I would rather not see it. It doesn't even have to be a Superman thing, but take the villains. Like when, what was that book that came out in New 52? God, there's
where the villains all took over.
Yeah, it was the Rogues book. It wasn't Arkham Asylum book. It wasn't the
Forever
Arkham
Evil?
Wars. Yeah, it was in Forever Evil. What was the Rogues one called?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't remember.
Oh, because you had gotten
Rogues
them.
Rebellion.
Yeah, Rogues Rebellion. That's what I'd rather see. Do a bad guys series.
Yeah.
Not Suicide Squad.
They obviously could use them because like Brainiac's in that show.
Is it
who else
Metallo?
There's a bunch, Metallo, and there's a bunch of people.
They're using a lot of those people in the CW, so I think they're taking all those properties. Like, why would you?
I think even Zod's in that show, right? Krypton.
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
I haven't.
Zod's grandpapa is there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Dotto.
Grandpa Nod.
Yeah, Dot.
it doesn't look good to us. Like if it came out and people were like, "This fucking show's amazing," they'd be like, "What?"
I would judge them until I saw it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. I'll wait till I see reviews and people.
And even as a Superman fan, I'm not gonna tune in.
They wouldn't even have to say, "Hey, this is okay." I'd be like, "Okay, well, it's not for me." They have to be like, "This is amazing." Like this is an amazing show.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, "All right, I'll watch it."
Now I tell you what, I give Garrett props, providing you really don't watch it, because there's that Turtles show, the new mutation that came out years and years ago.
Venus de Milo.
It was shit.
Yeah.
And I, even as an adult, can't watch it.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I grew even more fond of the Turtles. Screw that shit. I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
Did you watch it as a kid though when it came out?
I remember watching maybe one episode, and it was when you met Venus, and even then, that was garbage. So
I used to watch the show.
So you're kind of talking.
It's not good.
Like,
I stopped watching it, but it wasn't good.
You're talking like TMNT issue 71 through 73.
yes.
Okay.
Speaking,
But they were actually in the show. It just wasn't good.
Speaking of anticipating things, Black Panther will be out in about a month, the 15th. The 15th for early shows Thursday, and then actually 16th officially across the nation. I wanted to gather because like tickets only came on sale this last week, so it's about a month ahead of time. what your excitement level was for that movie. And the reason why I thought about this to bring it up in the show is because I was thinking about my own, and I only watched that first trailer, and then that was it. I haven't seen anything else. There's been TV spots and stuff like that, but I haven't really watched anything else. I think actually a new trailer just came out, but I haven't seen it. I think it's a movie that like I already bought my ticket.
Yeah,
I'm already going to go see it. So why am I going to watch this stuff? But also, I feel like I like Black Panther. And I like it. I like that director. I like everybody in that movie. Like everything about that movie for me should have like I should be like hyped as motherfucking like the top.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just like we're gonna go see that movie.
I'm excited for the movie. I'm not a big fan of Black Panther to begin with, so I really don't have that. Oh man, I'm gonna go see my favorite character. I literally don't know anything other than Wakanda and Black Panther himself. So I want to be excited, but I'm not. I'm going to see it for the fact that it's the movie right before Infinity War.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the unknown because I'm like with you, Alex. I don't know Black Panther that well. I saw they just came out with that Rise of the Black Panther comic. And I was thinking about getting it, but again, I don't want to like get it and then not enjoy it.
I haven't read it yet though, but I'll report back.
Right. So I'm excited because Ant-Man was good. Like some of the lesser known hero movies, like I tend to like the most of the Marvel universe.
Ryan, what's his last name?
Isn't it Coogler?
Fucking the best, like one of the best new directors I've seen. Fruitvale Station is amazing. Creed is
one of the best movies of all time.
And he wrote Creed, and he also I think he wrote the screenplay for Black Panther, or at least had some input on it.
Yeah.
So like, I know he's a good writer and director. So I know, especially dude in Creed. The boxing scenes in Creed are fucking amazing.
I don't know, the training montages.
Yeah, so I know, at least for a fact, that in this movie, at least the action scenes will be good. And I know the writing's going to be good because Fruitvale Station's really great. So I know at least for a certain point, he knows about human drama and all this kind of stuff. So I just know, like on paper, this movie, I should be like, this is my most anticipated movie of the year. But there's something about it I just can't get. And maybe it's just because it's another Marvel movie. And maybe that's why I don't know how much they're going to influence me. Like, how much can they... right before Infinity War, like what can really happen in this movie when we already have this big movie coming out? Like, I think it feels like everything's already set. You know what I mean?
I think for me, it's kind of like what Spider-Man Homecoming was. They introduced Black Panther in Civil War. They introduced Spider-Man in Civil War. And then they throw these movies together. Not that Homecoming wasn't good, but I do fear that Black Panther is not going to have taken the time to be as flawless as I think it should be.
Right.
For the fact that T'Challa is one of the smartest men in the world. And not that I don't think, is it Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah.
Not that I don't think he's going to nail this character. I think he really is a great T'Challa. But I am a little apprehensive on, is this movie going to have been rushed?
I also feel like it's being ignored. You know what I mean? Because there's so much promotion about Avengers right now. Yeah. And we've seen him in that trailer. So, like, I know he's not going to die in Black Panther, but still, like, now I know for sure because he's in that Avengers trailer. Like, they show him. So, like,
it's going to get, the wave of Infinity War is going to, because, usually we only get, 2, maybe Marvel movies a year. Usually it's 1. So, you get a lot of time for that movie to sink in your head before you see a new one. This one.
Is there 3 this year?
3 this year.
Wait, what's the third one?
Wasp and Ant-Man.
Oh, really? It comes out this year?
In the summer, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh. I'm actually more excited for that movie.
That one I'm really excited for.
But I don't know why, though. Like, I should be. Like, I love Black Panther. In the Hickman's Avengers story, he's one of my favorite characters in that. Like I said, I love the director. I love the actors in that movie. All those actors, I saw a cast list the other day, and I was like, they're all fucking amazing. So, I really should. But I really do feel it's like what you said. Like, how much attention was paid to this movie, and even now, how much attention is being paid to this movie. They already feel like they're onto Avengers 4 being like, oh, this is our big movie. Like, I feel like this movie should have came out last year, late last year. And then they could have, because that trailer for Avengers didn't come out till the end of December, right?
Yeah.
This should have been a December, first week of December movie.
I guess Thor was November, so.
Yeah, push that back.
But I think that...
I would rather have seen that now.
Right.
And have Black Panther last year.
I think Black Panther...
Black Panther did get pushed back because of Spider-Man. That's right. So maybe it is being kind of hey, push that back.
Well, I was going to say, Spider-Man got thrown together way faster than Black Panther did. Maybe this movie does have a lot more just real stunts happening, not a lot of CGI. Although I'm guessing that Chadwick doesn't jump up and transform into this Black Panther
I was going to
suit.
say that's CGI.
No.
Well, you can see in the Infinity War trailer, a lot of that movie takes place
In Wakanda.
in or around Wakanda.
But that's my guess is that why this movie got pushed back so long now is that it's the last little bit until Thanos shows up.
to set up the story.
And so if it's going to take place there a lot, maybe we're going to see some Captain, maybe we're going to see some
That's a good point. This movie might end with Thanos showing up,
let's say at least something shows up from Thanos.
Well, I bet there's going to be 4 after
like from the Black Order.
like
Yeah.
4
So
scenes.
I'm excited. I know once we get like 2 days from it, all we're gonna do is talk Black Panther and be like, holy shit, I can't wait to see this. But I think the nice thing for this movie is that Black Panther is a well-known character, but he's not a captain. He's not a Spider-Man. He's not an Iron Man. He's one of those characters that if you like Black Panther to begin with, you're going to be excited.
Yeah.
And so you may right now feel apprehensive. I think you and I aren't really going to change, pointing at Garrett and I. Black Panther's never been one of my favorite characters. So
I appreciate him for who he is. I just want to know more about him.
I just
don't
feel
know
like maybe the movie, and now that I remember that it actually did get pushed back. Like originally Thor was supposed to come out when Spider-Man did, and this was supposed to come out when Thor did. Now that I know actually did get pushed back, it does. Now I see why. Like it feels like it's late because it is late, and so it wasn't supposed to come out this late. So maybe that's what it is. It just feels like they moved on to Avengers already. They had all their plans in place to push that movie, and when they pushed Black Panther back, they never like shifted their Avengers promotions. So like, because usually they would wait till the
when
movies-
Civil War came out, the trailer didn't come out till like 2 months before the movie came out. So I bet they could have waited till Black Panther came out to show that trailer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I
usually
think that
they
would
wait
have been
till
a smarter move.
They wait till the other movie's over already, and then they show the other stuff.
Because I've seen more things for Infinity War, or maybe I've just watched more things for Infinity. I've only watched the one trailer.
Because they're not showing, like you just said, Ant-Man and Wasp. They're not showing anything about that right now. They're waiting probably till Avengers is over.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they care nearly as much about Black Panther, though. I mean, like I said, he's not as big of a character. He's big to some people who know of him
I think
He's pretty big.
He's pretty
Last
big.
Halloween, I saw tons of kids dressed up as Black Panther.
because he's one of the best characters in Civil
He
War.
looks fucking badass too. That's probably why
Yeah.
too. But I am excited. I'm excited for that movie on paper. You know what I mean? So like,
I don't share your paper notes as much because I haven't seen Creed. I haven't watched whatever that other movie was you named.
Like Creed, you got to see.
But I think what you said's gonna hold true. We'll catch back up the podcast the week before. I bet you think I'd be like, I'm so fucking pumped for that movie. But I think it really is. It might also be like I'm older. I'm like I don't really get that super hype. No, I was pretty hyped for Star Wars.
Honestly, I can tell you what, for Infinity War, I'm gonna be pretty jazzed.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I almost said jizzed, but who knows?
Well, that's
You didn't have to correct yourself.
perfect time to move on. We also were going to talk about quick before, and it's very quick because there's like barely. It's Tom King. They're doing DC and DC right now in Washington DC. That are having a DC little conference, and they had a little what do you call it, panel. And Tom King said, "Hey, my next DC book is." He's doing a brand new DC book, and the concept of the book is that it's some sort of facility where where heroes go to get over their PTSD or any kind of thing they have over, because when they go out and actually try to be heroes, like they actually get like PTSD from all that stuff and like that. And it's about them trying to cope with it emotionally. And so that book's that's what it's going to be about. And I just wanted to get you guys' take on, first off, at this point, is it just like, hey, Tom King's writing a book, I don't care what it's about, like I'm going to get that book?
Pretty much.
Did you hear me say like before the show, I was like, hey, Tom King has a new book. And in your mind, did you go, oh yeah, I'm just going to, whatever it is, let's get it.
Right. He's so hot right now, like with what he's bringing out, that, yeah, you can't not get what he's getting.
I also do think, though, like he'll bring a good perspective on it, because I think from him being in the CIA, that he knows.
Is that classified still?
Classified.
Okay.
That he knows, like, people when they're over there and doing stuff, like when they come back, they need help. So I think it's going to be like probably the most real kind of DC book. Like it'd be the closest like to an Image book, really.
I think his Sheriff of Babylon may be one of the closest ones as well.
Well, I mean, like a superhero.
What are you saying? Yeah,
It's going
I
to
know
be a
what you're saying.
superhero book with the most like.
Grounded in reality.
Yeah,
Okay.
remember we talked about the last couple of weeks about perspective and like reading something and understanding certain things. I think it's going to be a nice book for people to read and be like, oh, I understand now veterans that come back and have PTSD and stuff like that.
Well, here, you already asked us the question. I assume. Sorry, Sorry, Garrett's going to get the
You wanna
book.
die, clown?
I'm going to get it. Are you going to get it? Just for the fact that
Yeah,
Tom King's
absolutely.
You fuckface that one.
Marvin.
Why would you even ask him? Of course he's getting that book.
He hasn't.
course.
Have you read?
He's-
Have you read Omega Man yet?
You can't find it anywhere. You know. Yeah, I'll get it. I haven't read it yet. No. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, Alex, and I don't know why you're fucking bringing it up like you don't know. In the show, if I can't read it weekly, and like, oh, I'll read it later. Never happens.
Yeah.
It's just like TV. I was
To be
telling.
fair, Omega Man to me, I don't think you're missing out on.
Yeah.
The only nice thing about it is that it's got the White Lantern.
I've heard it's great.
Spoilers.
You're the only person I've heard that's like, it's okay.
I think for me, it's getting into Tom King. Because you're the one who's like,
Maybe
oh, Tom
reread it.
King is so good. And I'm like, oh, all right. I guess I can give him a try. About all the issues. Read it. Like,
Same thing for me, like in TV. Like if I record a show and I forget to watch it for like 5 weeks, this is 100% true. I'll just delete it and be like, man, I can't catch up on 5 weeks of show. But like if I have one episode and I keep up with it week to week, I'll watch the whole thing.
Wow.
But if like they build up and like it seems like it's too much, can't do it.
Garrett could have 6 years of TV to watch, catches up.
That's what I mean. So like when I'm like, oh, I'll catch up with that and trade.
I'm really
I don't think
behind
it's
on TV,
ever happened where I'm like, I'm going to trade with that book and I keep up with it being on trade.
Yeah.
Oh wait, one book, Flintstones. That's the only book I can think of.
Are you going to be getting it, or is it done now?
It's done.
It's done.
I've read it. RootsOfTheSwampThing.com, your definitive source for all things Swamp Thing. Holland Files #2 should be coming out pretty soon. If you got your pre-order in, you should be expecting to see it pretty soon. So visit the world of Swamp Thing at rootsoftheswampthing.com, on Twitter at DCWorldSwampy, or on Facebook at facebook.com/rootsoftheswampthing. Move on to
Actual books?
actual books, comic book. Speaking of week to week, and speaking of Tom King, we're going to start up top. Tom King and Mitch Gerads on Mr. Miracle. This is issue number 6 of 12. I like DC. What's that up there? 6 of 12, so I know. This is the story of Mr. Miracle in the last issue. They were like, hey, are you an agent of Darkseid? He said, I'm not an agent of Darkseid. And then Orion questioned him. He's like, guess I am. And so, I guess I can't be sure. And so he's like, well, you're going to be sentenced to execution. And then, was it in this issue or last issue? Oh, it was the last issue. At the end, they come to pick him up, and Big Bart kills them and was like, nope, you're going to stay.
Well, that's what, in issue 5, that's all that Mr. Miracle is asking, is tell me to stay.
Yeah.
And so she keeps saying, no, let's
go
we got to face it. You got to do what you got to do. Then you get to the last couple panels and she beats the shit out of him, she obliterates him, kills him, and goes, stay.
All right.
Issue 5 reminded me so much of that All-Star Superman issue where he takes Lois out because he knows that A, he's dying. Spoilers. A, that he's dying, and he's like, I'm going to make you have superpowers for a day so you can, relate with me on that kind of level. And they have a date. That's what that issue reminded me about. Like, he's like, this is basically my last day on Earth. Let's go out and just have a date. And even like they get stuck in traffic and like all this stuff. And they go to see the stars and there's no stars. And they're like, oh, I thought you would see more up here. Like it was like a realistic take on like he tries to do all this perfect date stuff and none of it really works out. But then at the end, like you said, like she realized like there's a point in the issue when they're stuck in the car and he's like nonchalantly, like he really doesn't care that he's going to die. He's ready. Like he's done with everything. He's so depressed. And she's like crying in the car. There's just a panel where she's like crying, and you just realize throughout the whole issue that even though none of these events or anything will work out, the time that they spent together throughout the whole day is worth it. And that's when she's like, "Oh yeah, stay." She realizes, "No, I need you to stay." So it's issue 6. They're like, "Well, we gotta stop this
do
thing
it together."
So they're gonna go up to Orion and be like, "No, you're not gonna execute me." So they have to go through his whole compound. Kill every motherfucker in there.
I tell you what, I had texted Marvin and Garrett. This is actually probably one of my favorite issues I've read in a long time of a book.
It's good. It's like a video game. Like they're like going through like tons and tons of different levels of Orion's palace, and it's nuts.
This reminded me of the Moon Knight issue where he's fighting his way through the building. And yeah, it reminds me of a video game. Every 2 pages is a new level.
What I liked about it was they're going through all this stuff and getting to the end, but like, they're both so good at what they do that they can have a conversation about
They're remodeling
the house and not even caring about fighting these guys. But B, also, like, that's what's more important in their life is, like, they're already assuming they're getting past this.
Yeah.
They're already assuming
They've already won in their head.
this is not a roadblock. This is just a bump in the road. And they're going to get past it. And this is the first time we've seen Scott not be super depressed and thinking about the future for once, instead of being like, no, before he was dwelling on the past about how, you know, Grandma Goodness treated him and, you know, she treated his wife. And also, like, his past about, like, he took over the life of somebody else, you know, all that stuff like that. And now he's actually thinking about the future for some reason. And, like, he's kind of fighting it. Like, she's telling him he wants to do all this stuff, and he's kind of fighting it. He's fighting the future. And she's, like, trying to, like, tell him we need to do all this stuff. And then she brings up she wants to do another bedroom. And he's like, why do we need another bedroom for? We can just blow up the mattress if a guest comes over. And then he tells a funny story about how somebody one time turned on the Stab-O-Matic and she got stabbed. So don't worry, though. I put a sign on that machine. Won't happen again. But you see slowly throughout this whole issue, you see her, like, trying to tell him. And then finally she's just like, Scott, I'm pregnant. And
that part gut punched me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, snap.
And for the first time, I think in this whole series, you see Scott display pure joy, run up to her and hug her, the biggest smile on his face. And
I love you.
I think we've seen.
Well, he was frozen for like how many panels before
Yeah,
that?
she
He
still
just
beat the
stayed
shit out of
still.
people.
He was like processing.
And I love you. And then from that point on, he's not fighting the future anymore. So yeah, we'll build that room. And then he's like, okay, let's get past this.
Yep.
And I think finally Scott has a reason to live. And that's what I thought this whole issue was great, because the whole series has been about depression, about, like, what it means to be depressed. And, like, he tried to kill himself in issue 1. And then he still feels sad, but he knows, like, he can't escape this. Like, it's weird that you have a story about a character who is depressed and wants to kill himself, but he can't escape death for some reason. He doesn't know why. And that's when he thinks he has the anti-life equation. That's why he can't kill himself. So even, like, the beginning part when he goes there, he's just go face his people. Like, he doesn't care. He wants to die, but now he has a reason to live. And now when he gets up to Orion's thing, he's like, what do I do? Like, and now he's afraid to die because he knows, like, he's going to have a kid
now.
Yeah.
Medium rare fucking
and so
steaks.
like
So I like it.
I found that very interesting to be like, wow, this book is about depression, but it's nice to see, like, because usually in books about depression, you know, you see somebody also about suicide, about he was, like, depressed and he tried to kill himself, and then it's more about, like, trying to understand depression. I think that was the first 5 issues, trying to understand Scott's depression.
Yeah.
In this one, though, it's like now trying to understand how he's going to get over that. How do you get over being depressed? How do you finally Big Barda was like
Embrace life.
instead of being that when she's like stay, you could see that as her saying no, live with me, like
Yep.
I want you to, like,
I need you
we're
to
going to
fight.
get over this. I'm going to help you. And that's what this whole issue I think was like an allegory for. Is like she was helping him fight through his demons, and then finally get to a point was like, here's a reason to live. We're going to have a kid together. We're going to make it through this. And I thought that was like the whole issue was great on that level.
Yeah.
Like especially also like it was a couple years ago, but even so, like you just are having a kid, Alex. And so like that part too, when she's like, I'm having a kid, like that joy in that moment. I think every father reading this would be like, because, you know, obviously, if you're a lady, like you find out you're pregnant on your own, or maybe, I don't know if a guy's in the room while you're doing it, but usually it's some sort of announcement, right? Hey, I'm pregnant and stuff like that. So,
Well, for me, it was more of my wife was having issues, and I told her, hey, maybe we're pregnant. So Papa already knew.
but I mean, there's always like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So it's nice to see that in this story, be like how that works out in this kind of environment. But I think you were talking about the art before, right?
Yeah.
Mitch is art. I like the 9 panel grids.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's that one. I think it's at least one page where the wall is trying to crush him, and Big Bart is the one holding it up, and then slowly the wall is coming down on him.
Yeah.
That's honestly one of my favorite pages. Yeah,
That's
that one.
sweet. Yeah, that's why I think that was a great use of like white in a comic. Like instead of it being wasteful space, like they're actually using it to tell the story. And that's always what you want out of an artist, to show that concept.
I feel like it's been from issue 1, 9 panel grids. I like that it doesn't change it depending on what's happening. It's always 9 panels because it sets the pacing as this is the story. Like it's all the same kind of pacing, and nothing feels like this is more important than everything else. And you can keep the story's been like kind of like everything I've read in this book so far. You kind of keep at the same pace because everything's paneled the same way. So I don't read one issue faster than another because it's been, you know what I mean? Like there's no one page splash where I'm like, oh, that's quick and move on. Every moment means the same thing. And so I really do like that. That's how they're setting up the issue, being like, let's go through and I'm going to control the pace of the story throughout everything. Yeah. And Mitch's art's great. I like the colors also.
The colors are amazing.
Is it Mitch himself?
I think it might be.
Yeah, let's see here. Colors, pencils, inks, colors, and variant color. Mitch Garrett. Yep. There's not a lot of colors going on. It's just a simple color palette, but I think that kind of makes things look great. I don't think any DC book looks like this right now, right?
No,
it's way different.
Not popped with this much color.
So, that's a preview. But so we get to the end of the book. What happens at the end, Garrett?
We get a nice little reveal ski of Darkseid's finally in this book. Kills. Oh, spoilers. Kills. ... Orion.
I already spoiled it by telling you I died earlier.
But this whole comic is about. I mean, it's about other things, obviously. But the goal is to get to Orion to plead their case, like, "Hey, don't execute me." And then they find Orion dead in his throne room. Darkseid had just killed him, and Scott's like, "What did you do?" And Darkseid's like, "Someone like Darkseid doesn't do things. Darkseid is."
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then he boom tubes out of there, and literally it's Barda and Scott are both like, oh shit, now we have to deal with Darkseid. We're finally at this point. So,
and throughout the ish or series, we've had these kind of static moments, static TV moments, and they're random, right? And I feel like they're moments when Darkseid has influence, and we're supposed to be like, oh, Darkseid's changing something here, Darkseid, because Scott thinks he has the anti-life equation in him. He thought Orion did. And I think that is kind of like in Harry Potter when Voldemort and Harry Potter are linked.
I was thinking the same thing.
So they're kind of linked. I actually saw it today. That's why I thought of that.
Nice.
They're linked. He's linked together. So when he wants to influence a moment, then we get that static. Yep. It's kind of like, breaking up
what should actually be happening.
Yeah, the transmission. So, but in this last couple panels, that's all we get is static. So when he sits on the thing and she walks in, he's like, I seen the face of God, and he's sitting in the chair. So I think we're supposed to think at that point, now he's controlling Scott, and now he's gonna he's controlling the other side of this war. So Darkseid really has controlled the whole thing. He's gonna win. We'll see going forward. But also, I like this nice moment. I forgot about it. Throughout the whole issue, he's talking about we don't need the room, we don't need this. Shucks brings up a cigar box, right?
Yeah.
She's like, you gotta throw that away. And he's like, well, for what? I like it. His friend, what's his friend's name?
The mentor. I can't remember the mentor.
Yeah, they
say his name in the book.
Oh, I'm not gonna look for it.
Okay.
They were like, used to be his, and I'm not gonna throw it away. And she's like, I really think you should. Did you really like it that much? Is it really that sentimental that you can't just throw it away? Yada yada yada. We get to the end here. He's about to go in. She's like, just talk to him. He goes, doesn't talk. She's like, try Scott. If you try sincerely and he won't talk, cut his fucking head off. It's censored, but still. And he just turns around and he goes, hey, I'll get rid of that cigar box when we get back. And she goes, sounds good. And she smiles. And it's just like I said, that moment where he's like, we're going to get through this. And, whatever we have to do, now I'm okay with it. Let's move forward. I'm tired of the past, to hang on to the past. Let's just move forward. But then it's tragic because he's at this moment, he's going to have a kid and he's okay with moving forward with his life. And then now he's possibly not even in control of himself. So great issue.
Happens to the rest of us.
Yeah.
10.
We say it a lot and I say it a lot. Tom King's a great writer.
He's getting his shit down.
I've read 5 issues in a row because I was way behind on Mr. Miracle. If I would have been caught up, this would have been on my top 5 of the last year. And then this issue, even if I thought would it have been, then I read this issue and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is one of the best series coming out right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think the one thing to say for Tom King is that the man knows how to write a compelling story, from The Vision, which I think is still one of my favorite books I've read, to Mr. Miracle, at least. These books that are self-contained in their own thing. He is just so good at keeping the pace and showing you a real life problem that some have, where Vision wants to know what it's like to be human, how to live a life with a family.
Have a family. What does it mean to have a family? What would you do for your family? Things like that. And then this is I was saying before, suicide, depression, even like family stuff. Like she was in an abusive family relationship. His mother, in quotes, Grammy Goodness, is she really a great mother? She was like so abusive to them, but he still loves her for some reason. That kind of like toxic relationship. There's a lot of things going on. That's why I said like this book that he announced is it's more going to be about that. And I think that's where Tom King, that's where he is great, is that he takes all these things and kind of weaves them into superhero books and books that are supposed to be like, the superhero books. Like it's like, fun, campy stuff. And he's like, what if, like if they were real, like they have real problems.
I say less of if the book was real, if what their problems were legit.
And I think for a while, and I think more you guys than me, but in Batman, it was kind of like that. He was trying to do that transition from being this bat god to being like, what's a Batman like with problems? And I think now though, he's found like, his voice in that book. And so this has been gold since day one. That issue one's great. Oh, yes, it is. So good. But it's nice to see that he's transitioning to more traditional comic books, superheroes with Batman, and that's going great too. You know what I mean? Like, like we were talking about a little bit ago. Anything with Tom King's name on it, I'm there.
Oh yeah,
good. 10.
I think
you said 10 already?
Yep. 10's all around.
Good stuff.
So we got Daredevil. Put that fucking thing down. Mayor Fisk. This is number 597, written by Charles Soule, art by Stefano Landini, and colors by Matt and Mila. We got third part of Mayor Fisk.
I think it's only the second part. Because wasn't the first part Legacy?
Yeah, then there's an issue before
you're right.
He's running from the helicopters.
Offered the mayorship at the end of last issue. That's right. Or the
so this is Matt Murdock does accept the deputy mayor as a deputy mayor from Fisk. And I love how this book, both Fisk and Matt think they've screwed over the other person by being, he doesn't know I'm Daredevil. And Fisk is like, well, fuck you. I got
him close, so now he'll never get out of this loads of paperwork that I'm going to put on his desk.
That are all going to be bullshit.
Escape. Yeah. Basically, and then I laughed at this part too, like in this book, because of his position, he has like a helper because, he is blind, but he can see things, or at least he reads with Braille for the most part. And instead of getting books made, Steven, we got fucking Steve back, Steven. Instead of having a book made with Braille.
We found where our Steven went to find this job.
He has to read, Steven.
Oh,
he has to read every single word, paragraph, section.
Steve.
I think he likes reading.
Of like the law books, and you could tell like that's going to take like 2 years.
Well, it's nice that Fisk's way of stopping Matt Murdock, or he doesn't know, but also stopping Daredevil was like, let's put him under government bureaucracy. Let's put him under all this paperwork. Like, that's how I'm going to stop him. He's going to be so caught up in the fucking red tape, he's not going to be able to do anything. It's funny because it's like, you expect politicians to be able to get stuff done, but then he's like, I'm going to make him basically a politician because then he'll get nothing done. So I find that hilarious. That was his solution, which it was going to work because he's going to be able to he'll get him invested in stuff nothing's ever going to come out of it. He's never going to be able to do anything. But he doesn't know. Good hearing.
Right.
Here's it.
But I like how, I was going to call him Bruce, how Matt tells, who was he talking, is it Foggy he's talking to?
Foggy.
Yeah.
When he goes, Fisk doesn't know that I can hear him, but he does find random zones that he's out of my range. So I'm wondering if he's in a specific room or if he's just out of, he's through so many walls that he can't hear him.
That's probably it.
Yeah, he just walks
That's a big
away.
building.
Okay.
I mean,
then we get Matt's. What was I going to say? Oh, he leaves. He's like still going to be Daredevil, and he sees his grocery store's getting held up. And he goes down there to stop it. Cops are called, and he gets cornered. But then
he gets
the cops are already chasing him in the last issue because Fisk was attacked by Daredevil, and so now the word is out.
And because there's a reward for getting Daredevil's arrest.
I mean, is that like he's like, I called the gas station workers. Like, I called the cops because our reward is so high. Like, I'm going to take you out too. He's like, dude, I've helped you so many times. He's like,
that shocking.
He's like, I don't care. That money's high. And the cops show up, and then he gets saved by the Chilean forces. What are the police force?
Yeah, that detective that he made friends
the
with.
Muse Arc.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was his power. Take off his glasses, and he has a bright light.
Yeah, he used that a lot in the.
Did he? I don't remember.
He used it once or twice.
Yeah.
And he comes
Because he
over,
stuns people with it.
to be like, hey, guess what? Muse got out.
Holy shit.
End of the issue. I thought it was a little anticlimactic.
But
we knew he was out.
No,
Right.
but we gotta say, but I like Muse when you meet Muse for that little bit of time where he goes, "Oh, I have to get back."
That's right.
He let himself be in prison.
Yeah.
I
He's
gotta
like,
get out.
hey, the food's been great. You guys have been great, but
I'm leaving.
just letting you know I'm breaking out. And they're like,
What?
That was a badass break.
I forgot. No, he calls Blind Spot. And he's like, oh, are you okay? He's like, yeah, no, don't worry. But I think I know where Muse was. And you see the outside the building of Daredevil saying, I'm not a crook.
I think that's the only part about this issue I don't like at all. I don't think Muse would ever draw something like that compared to what he was drawing before. I was like, oh, Muse is in this book. Like he's broken out. There's a lot of anticipation.
I don't know what his
then
play
like
is.
it looks like Richard Nixon. Like I'm not a crook.
But I think it's just a calling card. I don't think this was instead of killing people and posing them or using their blood to paint something, this was just going, "Hi, Daredevil, I see you."
It just seemed like a
just
shift.
weird.
It just seemed like a shift in how he was before.
Maybe he found a new inspiration.
But I do like the idea.
What, Justin Bieber?
I do like the idea
Nixon.
of like a Zodiac kind of killer Muse rather than, before it was more like a Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter kind of killer.
Yeah.
So I do like these now being like, come on, Daredevil, like follow the clues, let's go. And that's the reason why he broke out of jail. I was like, oh, finally finally he's back and this looks interesting. I'll get out of here and I'll do something about it. So the only thing about it, and I thought the art was okay.
We've had this artist before. He's the one that did that last issue where we hated the art.
What was it?
He was the Supreme Court
Supreme Court one.
You know what? I was going to say the last issue, 596, it's the same artist and same colors, Matt Milla. I thought that one was great. It looked great. There's a lot of building scenes.
I think that Matt's coloring of darkness really saved it.
Matt, the last issue, the coloring was fucking amazing. The last issue, it was kind of almost like I don't think you guys have ever seen this. Maybe you have Manhunter.
Nope.
It's like an 80s movie, and it's like like there's like the sky would be like green, like it would do this neon colors. It was very 80s. That last issue felt like that, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Well, even the night scene with Daredevil, like the colors were great. I thought in this,
Where he's up on top of the rock.
I think
like
the
that
only time when
stuff,
this artist is not great is when it's just faces and they're talking.
Yep.
Then it's kind of like, ooh, maybe you're out of your element.
met her at like
But when
fluid.
it's Daredevil and he's like floating through, like flying through the sky and it's dark outside and Mac has chances to put splashes of color, then it looks okay. It looks good.
But you know what? The best art in this whole book is the cover by Dan Mora.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even know. Yeah, that's good.
Even signs
that's
it.
awesome.
This book was a 7 for me.
I would stick out a 7 as well. I mean, I want to lean to a 6, but I think I'm gonna stick with.
I thought
7.
596 was stronger.
I was actually leaning towards an 8. I will agree. A 7 is a good 7. I wanted to like this a little bit more, but the art really does pull it down.
I don't know. I still hate that picture. I don't think Muse would draw something like that. I mean, I get that he's calling him out, but like it's got to be.
It also
something
felt
way
like a
more
transition
badass.
issue. Like
Right.
the last issue felt like something actually happened. This one just feels like we need to do this stuff to get to the next issue. And I thought we would have had a little more Muse in this one and like actually got that started. So it does feel like, ooh, this is in between Muse escaping and then when you're actually going to see it.
Yeah, but this is. I mean, it's Fisk is still the main
he's the
opponent
focus.
right now.
It'd be cool. I thought that painting would be cool if there was like some like blood coming down the eyes of Daredevil.
Hey,
something that'd
maybe
be kind of like poking fun.
We might actually see Muse go after Kingpin,
Fisk.
and then that's when they join up. So we'll see.
Garrett and I were actually. I remember Wednesday we sat at the table discussing whether or not we were actually going to keep this book, and that this was going to be the test to decide. I don't know what the deal is with Daredevil, but this is one of those books that I go, do I really want to keep getting? I like Daredevil, but am I really interested in what's going on?
Totally honest, the only reason I'm getting this book is Fisk and then Muse.
Yeah,
That's the only reason I want to get this book, not because of Daredevil.
I like Fisk, and I like Muse proved to be a really scary villain.
So the best arc of this whole thing is that Muse arc, but
it was good.
it seems like for a little bit that every other arc is good, and then the other one's not that great. This one seems like it's the better one. Out of the last one was when he was captured. I didn't really enjoy that.
The one where he was in China.
Yeah.
I liked the China one just for the fact that Ron Garney was on it, but not a whole lot happened.
Oh, by the way,
other than he was gone.
I was looking at, because I was trying to see when Ron Garney was going to be back. So I saw the next issue, his name's on it. I was like, oh, cool, he'll be back. But then I also noticed at the same time, he was supposed to be back at the start of this arc and do this whole arc. And I even found a announcement being like Ron Garney back for this arc of Daredevil leading up to 600. From 595 to 600, he was going to do all his issues. So obviously, he's not. So I don't know what happened.
Well, my guess is that they ended up going, well, we need these issues to come out, and Ron's putting in a lot of effort into getting the Muse fights and other things done correctly to look good.
So you think he'll be actually on that?
I think I think he will end out the arc.
He'll definitely be on 600. There's no way he's missing out on that.
600.
Oh yeah,
We'll see if he does 98 or 99.
So it was good. I mean, I'm glad we didn't drop it. I actually enjoyed it, but it wasn't
the best.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got Coyotes. Rather say
Correct.
Coyotes. Number 3, with the story by Sean Lewis and the art by Caitlin Yarsky. So at the end of our last issue of Coyotes, it is Red. She's trying to find out the whereabouts. I was whereabouts. Whereabouts
Canadian,
of her sister Maria, because her mentor, the Duchess, she went to her quarters and found a doll that looks exactly like her sister, which sends her on a hunt basically to find the person that made those dolls. And then she lands upon this old lady who's called Abuela, or they're the Abuelas, the grandmas, basically.
Looks like the Fates almost. Is what
Yeah,
they seem
right.
like.
Kind of like from Hercules and whatnot. So it opens up with Red like being like, where the hell's my sister? And right away, you know, these 3 old ladies, like they start trying to burn the police detective. Like they throw a can on him. He catches on fire.
Coffee, yeah.
And then these like grandmas are like threatening to kill at least Coffee. Like they don't like men. They don't like men at all. And then we kind of discover, you know, that after this first ordeal, like they don't end up killing each other or anything, but there's a little standoff between the Abuelas is in one group, the Duchess and all those people are in one group, and then it's Red and Coffee, who are the detective, who are just like, what the hell's going on? And then you kind of go into the backstory a little bit and figure out that, you know, Duchess was trained by the Abuelas to kill werewolves, what they call coyotes, and that the Duchess formed her own faction.
Sorry, I what you said threw me off, and then I realized
I know.
what they call them.
I'd rather call them
coyotes.
werewolves, but because it's called coyotes or coyotes, I'll keep it at
to
that.
insult them.
Right. So we find out that the ladies are from an ancient order of coyote killers or werewolf killers. And Red is under the Duchess, and the Duchess has some like animosity between her and herself and her teachers because they kind of do things the old way, which is like kill everybody, don't leave any traces, where the Duchess is like, well, we can't kill everybody, but we just got to eliminate the threats. And so, like, obviously, she lives in a more modern world where if there's a man involved, they're not going to instantly kill him like these abuelas do with, like, a giant-ass bazooka.
When you turn the page before, I forget, oh my God, I forgot she pulled out a bazooka.
She pulls out a
Just shooting
bazooka, like,
rockets at
now
him.
I'm ready to talk, like, pointing him, and she fucking fires it. Oh, I guess it's a missile launcher. So basically, now they're figuring out, like, a plan together because there is a growing, it's kind of like the Thor arc with Roxxon, where there's a company growing. Basically, in this case, they're growing werewolves. They're doing genetic testing on werewolves to make other people werewolves.
Well, they're used. So they have a not a legendary werewolf, but a ancient werewolf.
One of the last ones
that they've got chained up. Appears to be outside.
Yeah, right outside their lab,
and they're taking his hair and his skin, and they're putting it on humans.
Right, because that if you wear their pelts, it turns you into a werewolf. If you eat their meat, you turn into a werewolf.
So it's different than you having to get bit by him, but you can genetically modify a human to be a werewolf.
Right, and so you can just see, like, if you open up the book, there's this panel where this werewolf literally has patches all over it taken from it, and it's just like it's an abused. And like you feel bad for it, and you know that the coyotes are like, you know, they're the bad guy in this book, well, to an extent. And then like there's this corporation that's abusing this ancient werewolf to make other werewolves. And then the Abuelas, Red, Coffee, all of them decide, hey, we're gonna go take out that company because, you know, they're the greater evil right now. So while they're doing that, Abuela and the Duchess are going to kill ancient werewolf because that's their sole duty, but Red and Coffee are like, whoa, there's more to this. Like this isn't right. So we get to the factory and, you know, we get this, you know, learn the history from the ancient werewolf of how the werewolves got made, which is cool. it's like an origin story of how all the ancient werewolves were made. It was basically wolves were around when the dinosaurs were, and then when the comet hit, then, man was formed, and then they got created out of man. And then it ends with, Red and Coffee are going to confront the corporation manager, who basically is like, hey, we're basically going to kill you guys because we want to make sure we're doing our genetic testing, whatever. And then the Duchess and the Abuelas go try to kill this ancient werewolf, and instead of killing it, the Duchess sets it free because they're like, hey, there's a greater evil out there. We'll deal with like our animosity later.
Enemy of an enemy is my friend.
Exactly. So
I am so glad I'm getting this book.
I
remember first issue, I was like, this is okay. Issue 2 was amazing.
Issue 2 is the best, I'd say.
And issue 3, this book, not necessarily a cliffhanger, but the beginning of 4, I think 4 is going to be an amazing issue.
It's just going to roll.
Oh,
there's going to be a lot of intensity going in issue 4. The art has been amazing by Caitlin Yarsky. Very fluid, very crisp lines, lots of great coloring. Sometimes they do black and white. And I like that there's little 2 to 3 page backstory comic for each one. And this one's horrible. Like they literally turn a little kid into a werewolf they're just like, he's so innocent. He turns into a werewolf, and you can just tell he's miserable. And you can see how mutated they are. Like they don't.
And so you watch them turn into these beasts, and they are horrendous. They don't even look like human. They don't look like wolves. This little kid looks like a mix of a bat and a person mixed together.
And there's this sick bastard that's like, he loves the fact
he's getting off on it.
Yeah, it's a really like grotesque book, very visceral. Characters are awesome though. Red, like she's a little badass.
She's a badass, but you didn't see a lot of badassery from her this time.
This time around, no, because I don't think she had the chance to. But I think 4 will definitely see some heads roll.
I hope 4 is a not extended. That's not the right one. An oversized issue.
I feel like it has to be because that's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff to wrap up, and maybe this book will be an ongoing. But I think you were telling me that it's only 4 issues, right?
It's only 4. It was started as 4, and I hope that it continues on because I think there's a lot more story to tell off this concept. But if it ended, it is super fresh right now, and I'm really loving where the story's going.
This took over for Moonshine for me for the time being.
Moonshine and that horrible, shitty wolf comic we got from Al's Cott, where they change artists midway. And
that pissed me off.
Gross. So I give this issue a 9. I thought last issue was 10. I give this one a 9.
I think I'm gonna go for an 8. I liked it. The parts with the ancient werewolf I loved.
Yeah,
but I'm biased. I want a little.
Or are
bit
you
more
biased with ancient werewolves?
Because I like animals.
Okay.
But I thought that had
something to do with the fact they were ancient.
Well, to be fair, he's the only actual werewolf. Everyone else he's not, I guess, a werewolf. He'd be just an ancient wolf.
No, he's an ancient werewolf.
Is he a werewolf?
He's descended, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if he's actually a person. Like, he was a person?
And he's the size of Clifford the dog. That's how big he is.
Of course. Clifford's number 1. That's his favorite book.
Is Clifford the dog in this book?
I wish.
He is. He's just gray and wolfish and mean.
With patches of fur missing.
Do you think if Clifford the dog ever accidentally took a piss like in the street, they would have a flood?
I think they've actually shown an issue with that. Not an issue, but a TV show. Not saying piss, but
that piss flood issue. You ever watch that?
Clifford and the Big Yellow Flood.
I wasn't 10 when that show came out, so. What we got next, Marvin?
I have some news for you guys. By the way, book sounds great. Don't listen to a word you said. That is the next issue. It says the end of the first arc, so it probably is an ongoing now.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I think it's super popular. It should keep going.
I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I don't know.
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? Moving on.
We weren't gonna listen to you anyway.
You're right, Marvin. Clifford is a big fucking dog.
Now let's say something about your book. Damn it. Michael Cray, this is issue number 4. This is Brian Hill with Warren Ellis and Stephen Harris, Sexter Vines. This is second part of Michael Cray versus the Flash, basically. I don't know. They don't have arc titles.
Running Wild.
It's just Michael Cray, chapter 4.
Issue starts, him and Barry Allen having a little chat about how they're both crazy and about this fucking government needs to take it down. Not the government, scientists. Science has gone crazy, out of hand, and now it's getting dangerous. One day, We don't justify giving out information on Facebook. If somebody came and asked for information, we're like, what the fuck's going on here? But Facebook asks us a question, we're like, all right, I'll fill it in. So he's saying that nobody has privacy anymore, and pretty soon, technology is going to take over, and these scientists don't care about how things are going. They're saying, what can we do to do more stuff? They're not asking why should we. They're saying, can we? And he's saying that needs to stop. So Barry Allen's been a fucking serial killer, killing all these scientists recently, and so Michael Cray was tasked with killing Barry Allen and stealing his tech. And in the last issue, he met up with them. So the beginning of this issue, they're talking about, hey, like Michael Cray is basically trying to say, hey, I'm crazy too. Man, I hear voices. You hear a voice?
Yeah.
Tells you to do something, man. Like,
well, he's trying to get his tech. Otherwise, he would just kill him.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get his tech, then you could kill him.
Well, so he's got to draw out the Flash to get the tech. So.
Right.
So he's trying to relate with him, like lure him into a trap, being like, man, I'm crazy too. You ever hear something and it tells you to do something and you got to do it. Otherwise the voice gets louder and louder. He goes, yeah, man, me too.
Me too.
I was going on.
So loud.
Man,
I got you.
He goes, I'm going to give you the right to kill people. Yeah, I know you're the Flash. I'll make you work for me and I'll tell you who to kill. And he's like, fuck this.
Find you the right targets.
He's like, screw this. And Barry Allen leaves. We have more of Michael Cray trying to figure out what the fuck's wrong with him. Obviously, it's not dangerous, right? They've learned at this point he's not dangerous. I mean, what's
can make
inside
things
of him?
disappear.
Of course, he's seen this lady that he likes.
But he did learn, that the power activates when he feels emotion. Not anger, but when he feels like he wants something. Then it happens. We get a story of Barry Allen.
I forgot he runs into a wall.
Fast runs into a wall.
Just fucking running into shit, trying to get faster.
Dude, he is crazy. He is schizophrenic crazy.
He is. So he's talking to himself in the mirror, being like, I don't trust this guy, just kill him. No, he just says, you want to trust him, kill him. He's like, but he could help us out. He could have punched us, but he didn't. Barry Allen's like running around his fucking apartment, running into shit, trying to get faster. Which is funny for me for two reasons. One, I do like that this Barry Allen basically is Flash and Reverse Flash at the same time. That's what his personality is.
Yeah.
And I do also like that Barry's always trying to get faster. That's his thing. And in this, he's trying to get faster. He's just running into shit. It made me laugh. I don't know. I don't know if that was an intention, but this whole thing did make me laugh out loud. Like, just break this.
I think his face in this bottom panel.
You just tell he's pissed off.
He's like mad. Yeah. This whole Barry Allen is like a tragic character and like a dope, and it made me laugh the whole time. I don't know why. Like I was like, because people are always like, "Oh, Barry, you fuck up," and in this, he is a fuck up,
like on purpose.
On purpose.
Well, yeah.
So we get Michael Cray's on the roof with his team. And his team, who was it? One of them?
Was pointing gun at him. Leon, was it?
Yeah. Leon take it down a notch. He puts a gun at Michael Cray. Michael touches the gun, fucking vaporizes it. He goes, want to try some shit? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about you as a team. Like, I don't want a team. So if you guys don't want to be with me, that's fine.
You guys were assigned to me, so now I'm taking you as a team.
Yeah, you're supposed to prove to me why you're here. I don't care that you're here. And you can tell he left, and they're all like, what the fuck? This guy? Get vaporized shit? We didn't know he had powers. Shows up Barry Allen.
Oh, I was gonna say I like the fact that one, Cray doesn't actually beat the shit out of Leon. Nothing, just vaporizes the gun, tells the team, "Fuck you guys, I don't need you here."
That's how.
But you're given to me,
right? And
then he turns to Leon, "Never point a gun at me again."
Yeah.
Right.
Wouldn't you do that shit too if you had that power? Some guy comes up to you and like pulls a gun on you, and you can just touch it and vaporize. He goes, and you don't. That's all you need to do. Be like, all right, don't pull a gun on anybody ever again and walk away. That guy's never going to do that shit again.
Yeah.
A.
That's true.
B. Pretty badass.
Dude, that guy probably would have shit his pants.
I'm liking the fact that Michael Cray's like getting his power down. Like we're finding his triggers. Like I'm pretty sure by the end of the series, like 11 and 12, he's going to be using that.
He's going to be killing
crazy.
Superman.
Oh yeah. Well, that'd be a sweet arc.
So he's telling Barry Allen, "Hey, I want you to kill these three scientists. It's this team. Here's what they're doing."
That's right. He tells him that he needs bait, and they're the bait.
Yeah. Oh, he puts them up for bait. He goes, "Hey, these three, what are they doing? They're making artificial intelligence for military applications. You gotta stop them. These three." And Barry Allen's like, "Fucking on it."
By the way, when I read the next issue, if that's what Michael Cray sounds like in my head, you gotta stop him. It'll ruin the book.
Barry Allen runs up there, runs through a bunch of fucking mirrors, falls out the fucking window.
Well, what do they do to him? They do something with the light.
Oh no, yeah,
Or,
yeah.
blind him.
They blind
Blind
him.
him,
There's
yeah.
all these mirrors set up, and they shoot the fucking light basically in his eyes. It basically, it's like when you're in a car, you're going down in the fucking sunlight, like it's in the morning, the fucking dawn. Hit your eyes, you might crash too. This guy fucking takes
He
a crash.
swerves all over and he falls right out the window.
Crashes onto a car.
Falls up.
Then Michael Cray blows the car up.
Oh,
with
that
him
part
on
was
it.
sweet. I love that. I was like, oh, he just lands on the car. That's not that bad. And then,
Oh yeah, then he's got his wire for C4, blows the shit up, shoots him in the knee. Then Barry Allen. Never once did he think this guy was trying to. I mean, obviously his crazy self thought so, but he's like, I don't. But you understood. We could save the future. Then he just fucking shoots him dead. But
doesn't he say something like, oh yeah, he says, I'm the one chosen to save the world.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
and then Michael Cray tells his team, be like, hey, I'm gonna go get the tech and stuff like that. Don't worry about it. But then he shows up, he just lights it on fire. Did you assume that Michael Cray did the fire?
Yes.
That's what I thought too.
I assume he went and destroyed the tech.
Because this kind of talk right here is like, Michael Cray's kind of being like,
he doesn't want them to have all the power.
yeah, he's like, I don't want you guys to have this. In a way, he doesn't say he does it, but he's like, you guys, what does he say? The next one you send me needs to be evil, not crazy, not broken, evil or clear. Oh no, he goes, oh yeah, Alan had no data. It must have been burnt before he got here. It's just ash now. And she goes, shame. We could have done a lot with this technology. And he goes, I can only imagine what you would have do with that technology. Which makes me think that he's like,
sarcasm.
This isn't for you.
No.
Yeah. He goes, hey, and then she goes, hey, I got something for you. You got a fucking Aquaman.
dude.
This dude looks fucking...
I tell you
floating
what,
around with a floating head and like he's eating the whole body or something.
like I was excited for the Flash arc. I thought, oh, that's gonna be good. I'm even more excited for him to take out Monster Aquaman.
That'd be sweet.
This thing, so Wildstorm is really great because it's dealing with technology, a lot of real world stuff about, corporations, and there's fucking a cool act. It's cool. Like I said before, it's a cool book. This also is cool, but also like it's incorporating the DC world, being like, what if these people exist in our world? How would they be? And I find it cool seeing like these DC people, but then also Michael Cray, how badass he is. He just kills all, and how he ends up killing them. Be like, he never feels like he's breaking a sweat. You know what I mean?
Like when I'll admit when he fights Green Lantern, he's breaking a little bit of a sweat. He's
Green
not
Arrow.
his. What did I say? Green Lantern. Sorry, Green Arrow. He's breaking a little bit of a sweat. Doesn't know about his power yet. And
Oh yes, you're right.
And Ollie's got the upper hand.
Oliver Queen was fucking like that.
Ferocious.
He was fucking BA though.
But this is the wussiest version of Flash I've seen.
It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Like normal Flash would have vibrated through, and now realize I don't think this Flash either knows he can vibrate or hasn't figured out
No, he
how
does.
to
He kills
do it.
that person in the beginning with his hand through the. Oh, sorry, that was last issue.
I think he just punches though with force.
And so I think he just punches super
you see his
fast
hands vibrate.
because he can't vibrate
Does he?
because
Okay.
he can't vibrate through the walls. He's just running straight through things. Anyway,
it's funny that like in the normal Flash, is a fuck up doesn't really know how to use his powers to the full extent.
would have zoomed out of the way before he got shot.
In this guy here, he's
Trusts way too easy.
and like he's so like a weak guy for him. He's just like believes him, but also being not that great with his powers and like just dies right away. I find it hilarious. They had broken no sweat. Him and his team killing Flash. He dies like in 2 pages. And I was like, because that Green Arrow, like you said, you're right. That Green Arrow one was like a whole issue. Of him
He worked a sweat on him because he's actually having to fight him.
This
one,
one,
he already knew how to take him
He
down. He
outsmarted
just had to get
he went to the fucking doctors. He had a doctor's appointment in between setting him up and killing him. He didn't give a shit.
I love the fact that he shot him in the knee too, though. Like, that was strategic. That was like putting the brakes down.
That's what's
You're
great
not gonna
about
move.
this and the Wildstorm, though. Everything makes sense. And I think we were saying like the Alex.
Like this
kind of book.
is my kind of book. If you're gonna take out the Flash, that's what you do.
And I'm pretty sure that's Warren Ellis because he's helping with the story. And I'm pretty sure, and he has the main book. In the main book, we've seen a lot of that being like, when they're counting bullets or like saying he shoots somebody in the knee, like you said. It all is very logical. And I think that's what makes this book like it's fun because he's killing these versions of DC heroes, but also like it's very down to earth and logical with this Michael Cray character and how he's taking them out. That it's enjoyable, like being like, okay, that's how, if Flash existed for real. That's how you would take him out, shoot him in the knee, obviously.
Well, he doesn't use his meta power to blow him up. It's literally uses they stun him, falls out the window, blows the car up, shoots him in the knee, then shoots him in the head.
Done.
Awesome.
Let's move on. Aquaman, he said.
Oh man, I am so excited for
That'd be
Aquaman
sweet.
because it's going to be
Especially that
taking,
he's like a monster.
he's like a
just-
piranha. It looks
right.
like piranha Aquaman.
The only thing was I don't like the way this was colored. It's a little like too much. It
Yeah,
looks a
some
little
things
weird.
pop, some things are dull. Yeah, it's kind of all over the
It's
place.
not consistent.
I thought it was just kind of bland looking.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing vibrant, and even the darkness isn't dark. It's
The
just,
layouts were fine. The way the book said that's paced, everything's great. It's just
I thought Flash's costume could have been cooler too.
the lines feel like the coloring and the inking feels like it's overpowered the actual lines. It feels like, like there's more line work and it just gets covered up by colors and ink. So it does kind of look like flat.
This is the first part I've actually noticed where the ink is really almost too heavy, is on that gun.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. That Green Arrow arc was great. The art, and it's the same. It's still Stephen Harris. So I'm not sure if that was the intention for these two issues for some reason to make them look different, but if they can go back to how it was, I believe it was Dexter Vines and Stephen Harris. Like nobody's changed.
Yeah.
It's just a style has changed for some reason. Maybe we can.
But maybe it's for the style of this book.
Maybe.
This
We'll
issue.
see. But it was fun. I liked it.
I'm actually going to give it an 8. I like this.
I'll say an 8.
Yeah, 8's good.
I want to find out who's doing the covers though. Some of those need some work. I mean, that looks great. That one
It's
does.
your-
Some of the
I
other,
didn't
buddies.
care for the other one.
yeah, the one before this looks
And the
stupid.
one last, number 3, I was going to get number 1, the original cover with the 4 faces on it. I was like, no, you know what? This other one where
Right.
Alan's running is pretty good.
You don't like this cover, you said?
No, I like
this was the better
cover.
of the two.
This is the same guy who did that Rick cover that you didn't like.
The faces one.
Yeah, Bill, whatever this last name
Oh
is.
yeah, that's, I didn't.
I've gotten to the point now where, depending on the book, I really don't care what the cover is, just whichever cover looks the best. So, you know what cover does look pretty damn good? We got Royal City number 9, drawn, written, colored, awesomed by Jeff Lemire.
Edited by.
Edited.
Bound
Only thing
by.
that's not by Jeff, I think, is the words, the letters.
Steve
Wands.
Steve wants because he's a magic maker with those letters.
Boom.
What happens in this issue, Alex?
I couldn't tell you.
This is really. This is
I can't remember. I remember that it's I know it's Tommy. It's the second.
nope. This is all about Pat. Tommy's
Tommy's there because he's out with
he's out with Roger.
Richie.
Richie, sorry, you're right. Richie.
He's out with Richie on the out in the car,
Yep.
hanging out with is it Clara?
Clara and
Was that this issue? Okay.
I can't remember. See, my
Why
thing
don't
is,
you
I
just
read
open it up?
I read
It's right
eight,
here.
I read 8 and 9
Yeah,
together.
so did I.
And so I'm having a hard time remember what was this. I know a lot of it is about Pat, or is it all Pat?
So no, it's not all Pat. Some of it's like it starts out with Pat, like you can see like he's getting up at 6 a.m. He has to go work at the steel mill because like he never, and it kind of describes, this is Tommy's perspective of what he thinks about how Pat is. You
graduated high school, wants to do
Right.
something else, but like
They see
everybody
that
else
he
in the
was a
city,
go-getter.
you work for a factory.
Right. And then it kind of made everyone, he was the one that like, hey, if someone's going to make it out of this town, it's going to be Pat. And then Pat doesn't make it. And, you know, his dad makes him work in the steel mill. And you can just tell he's miserable. Like he
Yeah.
hates his job so much. And Tommy kind of talks about how like they were never really that close. But yeah. Then it kind of fades to you get a little bit more backstory with his mom and how like she's gonna have a future affair with her old high school sweetheart.
Oh, you know what? I tell you what, I was telling you all about issue 8. I told you nothing about number 9. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Clara. I think it was in the last.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
last issue.
sorry. I
You know,
apologize.
What's great about this book, throughout the issue, you get Pat and his dad. There's a little duality about like how they're a lot alike. You get them driving to work, and you see that Pat yawns, and then his dad yawns. They go to work. He says, "See you at 4." Yeah, yeah. And you see that he's bored with work. And then we don't really see anything else about his dad till the end. We see his dad's bored with work. Like that's not what he wants to do either.
He's
seeing
starting obsessed over his radio.
the radio. He sees his dream, what he wants to do, but he thinks he's stuck here. And then he said, "Dad, can we talk?" And he goes, "Yeah, Pat, what's up?" He goes, "I want to quit." And he goes, "Quit? I need to do something. I need to do something else. I don't know what it is, but not this. I'm sorry, Dad." And he leaves, and his dad changes from being concerned to being happy. He's like, he's going to get out of this.
Yep.
I didn't get out of this, but Pat's going to get out of this.
He's gonna have a life.
He's like,
And
thank God.
I thought that was so fucking good, dude. This end of this made me so happy.
That
make you
this
grin?
made this
Like, it
made the
made me
book
smile.
a 10. This
Yeah.
issue a 10. When Dad is like, "Oh, he's leaving." Good.
You know,
It's a smart choice.
you guys probably didn't see it, and also spoilers for anybody who wants to see Lady Bird. Lady Bird's a movie that came out recently, and there's a scene in Lady Bird when the dad goes for an interview for a job, and in the interview he's like saying he's a little older than what the job entails for, or at least like there's a lot of young people going for this job. The interviewer says, and he goes, and the dad goes, "Yeah, I know, but like I went through all the schooling work, and sometimes you need somebody who's mature and knows what they're doing." He's trying to sell himself on it. And then he leaves, and while he's leaving, he sees his son comes in with the tie and stuff like that. He goes, "Oh, you're going for this job too?" And he goes, "Yeah," because him and his dad do the same thing, kind of like this. And his dad sits there, and you can see his dad thinking about it. And he goes, straightens his tie, and he says, good luck, son. I hope you get this. And he smiles and he goes away. You can tell in that moment that he's like, no, he should get this over me. Like, my son should really should get this job over me. And like, there's that moment of being like good for him. And that's what this was for me. It was like when he saw like he's dreaming of leaving and Pat has the guts to be like, no, I quit. I don't know how I'm going to figure out what I want to do, but I can't be here anymore. And he smiles. His dad smiles because he's like, he has way more courage than I have in this moment, because I should be able to just quit too and do what I want to do, but I'm not. And I thought, like, that's what this book is great about. It's for those moments, like the moment for when what's her name, Tara?
Patty. Oh, I was thinking for Mom.
Tara asked for a divorce in that one issue. And she does that. It's all these little moments of people succeeding in what could otherwise be mundane moments in your life, but for them, it's like that's a life moment. Being like, no, we need a divorce. I'm making a decision here. Like, I'm tired of this. And Pat was like, I'm tired of this. I need to quit this and pursue my dreams. And I think we get a lot of this book. This book is very kind of like bleak and depressing. Obviously, we know Tommy passes away, and we're seeing him throughout this being kind of a guy who's just going through life, doesn't really have friends, hangs out with his brother's friends all the time. And but it's nice to see moments of people like leaving the city or like getting over stuff.
I think Richie is going to be the downfall of Tommy. I think Richie's going to do something. I think
that's why he's a drunk in the future.
Yeah, he ends up killing Tommy.
There's a lot more guilt in him than is anybody else for these moments.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that the whole family is, in all honesty, sort of dysfunctional. That Tommy really is the staple, and being the youngest, he's supposed to be the fun one. And
Richie? No. Tommy.
Oh, yeah. Tommy's the youngest. And that once he's gone, the smile fades. That Tara has her own personal issues. Pat can't write a book to save his life, so he has to steal Tommy's story. Richie is so torn up about what most likely he had done or was a part of that he has to hopefully drink his problems away or die some other way. I liked this issue that when, I think Mom's name is Patty, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Patty. Okay. When I started reading this, I thought, oh, we're gonna get into her cheating right now. Like, I know it happens, but it's not. It's she runs into an ex-boyfriend, or just Robert from
Robert from high school,
and so they're having a conversation, and it was just one of those things that it seemed more like a legitimate conversation where Patty's trying not to be in this situation. She's actually just trying to, I'm waiting, and then I'm gonna go home. I gotta go see my family. And Robert's like, oh, remember those good times we had? And she's like, yeah, we had good times. But what's her husband's name?
Arthur.
I'll look it up.
I thought it was Roger.
Could be Roger. I don't know. He was there for me. It was like...
Or Sam.
He was there.
I'll start naming men's names.
Right. He could... whatever. The new guy, the ex-boyfriend, couldn't be reliable. So,
and her current husband is reliable. He was her best friend in high school. He was just Pete. He was the safe bet, and I was like, you know what? I really like this. And in the bottom where Patty's walking away from Robert, there's no looking back. It's just like she is being faithful as of right now. And I was like, you know what? I like that it wasn't a rushed, oh, she met this guy, let's go bang.
Right. For that long.
So, and it was...
It's something that obviously Tommy's going to accelerate. Like, his death is going to push her. It's going to break her faith with her marriage, with her family, and it's going to lead her to this man.
Well, I think this book really is about people wanting to get out. People getting out of the mundane. Like, obviously his dad wants to get out, wants to stop what he's doing. Pat has the courage to stop what they're doing to get out. And it says here, even Tommy realizes, like, those smokestacks, I imagine this place really is like a big trap. There's no way out. And a lot of people, that's what they're trying to do, is just like get out. And Tara, asked for a divorce. She wants to get out. And this book is about like trying to overcome the trap of being, playing it safe and being like, and I think in this thing, he says like, we used to have something. It was special. Like, we had a kind of like energy going on. She goes, yeah, but like you said, Pete was reliable. He was there for me. And I think we're going to see that she goes back to him because she's like wanting to get out this mundane thing with Pete, and she wants to go to do something exciting because she thinks it's exciting.
No.
But maybe, we'll see. Maybe if it's a choice that she regrets, probably. But
Well, which now would kind of make sense with her thought that Tommy may have been a priest.
Yeah.
Was that she broke her vow to be loving towards her husband no matter what. And so she decides to sleep with somebody else. Well, the one person that she would consistently think of is her son that ended up pushing her towards this new option, perhaps.
I think this panel, what you're talking about, I think what it's supposed to reflect when there's nothing but white in the two of them is he's all alone on that side thinking about like, oh, she's walking away from me and she's walking away. But still, like in that moment, the only thing those two are thinking about, like she's thinking about like meeting him at that bench and like maybe, I'm not sure. And he's like still thinking about her. Like the only thing in this moment that matters for those two are those two. Yeah. Like that's what the only thing, like take out all the rest of it. There's no like, when you go through like a moment like that, or you have a conversation with somebody and you're like, you don't remember all the details around you. You kind of like, what do you call that? Zoomed in. Yeah. And that's what that is. It's like, they're like, she's having a moment of, thought being like, would I do this? Maybe. And, she's lost in it. And that's what's happening here. There's also that moment when Tara and what's his name? Richie. We said it a million times. Going to go to the party. And I think that's going to be where Tommy, like something happens. So it's kind of that foreboding being like, because we know something happens to Tommy. We don't know exactly what it is. We know it has to do with water, maybe. Right. We know he's, not feeling well. He's on meds. He drank or smoked.
He smoked some
pot. And it affected his sickness. And he got, I don't think it was motion sickness. It was a panic attack. Because that's like classic symptoms of panic attack. And he just needs to be out. Like, if there's too much stimulation when you're in a panic attack, you just need to get out and go somewhere quiet. And that's what he was trying to do. Last issue. And so, we have, it ends on a happy moment. And I think that's kind of not really how this book usually is. Right. And I think the next issue is oversized, he says. Jeff Lemire says it's oversized.
You're going to be set. I mean, it's not set up, but I mean, they want you to feel good because that rug's getting pulled
I think the next issue is going to be really like a stab in the heart and like, here's the character you've been reading for the last 5 issues. Here's what happens to all these people. Yeah. Here's why in the future some of them like are super depressed, like Richie. Some of them have to like. That's why Pat leaves. Like I can't deal with this, and that's why all this stuff gets into play. You probably see that's when the start of the affair is, and that's why you see Tara marry a guy she's not really in love with because she wants to be. And she doesn't want to divorce him for a long time, even though she doesn't. That guy never treats her right from what we've seen.
He always sounds like a jackass.
And I think that's maybe because part of, that toxic relationship that she's seen with her parents. And she's kind of like, oh, no, I'm going to do this right. And then she gets with somebody. She's like, well, I can't divorce him. Then it'll just prove it right. Like, I'm just like my parents. And so.
But I always thought that Pete actually treated Patty right. I think it was just,
he wasn't focused.
He wasn't focused. She didn't pay attention to him. You saw in the last issue where he wasn't there for her when she needed him. Yep. He was out going by on the radio. So it's not that, and like it's kind of ironic that she's like, I got with him because he was there for me, and then now he's not emotionally available anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just that thing. Like I said, eventually they get on the tracks and it becomes mundane, and she's looking for a way out of that. How do I get over this, and how do I do something different? I think we'll see that with the affair.
What blows my mind is that we're 9 issues into this book.
Yeah.
I still read this book like
it's brand new.
Yeah. I mean,
it's really fresh.
Sometimes when I read a book and I'm 10 issues in, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, Youngblood, for instance, I read that and it's like, oh, okay, I know we're almost 9 issues in. Man, that's good. But this is one of those books, every time I read, every issue's fresh.
Yeah.
And it opens my eyes to something else. Like you guys were saying, this will probably be the happiest end of an issue we have for quite some time. And happy is used lightly.
Right.
Because Dad smiles.
It's happy for Pat, but for his dad, it's also depressing because like his dad's not leaving. His dad's staying there.
His dad's a manager. It sounds like he could have left 20 years ago.
He got stuck in a management job, and he feels too scared to leave.
Yep.
And so now he's stuck
afraid to start over.
He's afraid to start over. He's seen that picture of a radio. He's like, that's really what I want to do with my life. But yet for him, he thinks it's over. His life's over. Like he's too old to leave that job. It's too secure. And how can I start over now? And Pat proves him wrong by saying, yeah, I'm just going to quit. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to quit.
Anything's better than this.
His dad's like, wow, like I wish I could do that. That's why he smiles at the end. It's great. This is a 10 for me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
This best book in the market. If you're not reading this book, I don't know what's wrong with you.
This is
it.
In all honesty, this is the new Deadly Class for the three of us. This is the book that if you're not
Deadly
reading,
Class, I still like more.
I
like this more.
I would drop Deadly Class to only get this book.
Really?
But it may be only because Deadly Class. I don't know where's that book at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't came out really recently. This has been really consistent. But also, I do like, and I think I talked about it before. I do like a book that doesn't have to rely on its action or supernatural thing or some sort of genre thing to be like, oh, you're so interested. I need to fill it in. Because obviously you're not going to be interested in just the characters. This is just characters.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to be interested,
new territory.
yeah, this is just for me to be interested in a book that's like a pure drama book that's about characters and like people. I think that shows you how strong the writing is because I don't need them to break out and like fight each other or like some aliens to show up. All I need for Richie to do, Pat to do is quit his job. And for me, that was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That was great. You know what I mean? Yeah. Imagine you tell somebody that, hey, you know why this issue was great? Pat quit his job.
I tell you what.
Anybody that's ever wanted to quit their job, that's the way you would do it.
Hey, anybody that has a dream and it's like I'm tired of saying there's that where Tommy's like, Pat says he always wants to be a writer, but I never see anything in his notebooks. And he's too busy thinking about having a dream. And it finally comes to Pat where he's like, I'm tired of thinking.
Well, he gets talked to by another worker.
Yeah, he's like, what are you still doing here?
Because the worker a couple issues ago tells him, get out of here. Don't do this.
Yeah, you're never going to accomplish your dream by sitting here and playing it safe.
And so
you have to play it scared to be able to be like, I got to do this. This is how I'm going to live.
You got to take risks.
My dream. You got to do a risk.
You don't get stuck here like your dad and I am. And so Pat takes the risk.
And so he's drilling and he's just like, I'm done. Like he's just like, I gotta. And then he goes on there and he goes, I quit. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this or what I'm going to do, but I can't be here.
This is one of those books that I actually decided to get Trillium.
Yeah.
Because I love Jeff Lemire writing so much, and honestly, I love the art. Like it's not. I don't know
anything like this.
What Trillium?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't get enough of this book. I can't wait. I want to reread 1 through 9 before I read 10, just to
do it,
to be a part of this.
And there's probably gonna be a lot of Easter eggs you'll see throughout. So. All right, last book of the evening. What? You guys weren't transitioning for me, so I'm like, all right, I'll do it, I guess.
That's because you got to transition yourself.
Yeah. No, yeah, right. Every time I'm like, what are we reading next? What are we reading next? Or you say that to somebody else.
No, I always just get into it. I go Michael Cray, number 4.
I need absolute silence. The Punisher, number 220, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Gu Villanova, colorist Lee Luridge, letterer, Jesus, Corey Petit.
You don't read the other ones, any?
Whatever. Sometimes colorist and letter we read. Letter Steve Wands.
Well, yeah, that's because he was the only other person on this book.
What do you read?
Oh, go
Between
fuck yourself.
the lines. Thank you. So we're on the third part of the Punisher Warzone arc. I love this book. It's fucking amazing.
I tell you what, the page you open, if you're showing me this part right here, where the military guys are stealing the son, right?
Yeah, they're taking his son and forcing him to join their military.
You watch, and mom is yelling at the military guys. The military guy points a gun at her head, and the next panel you see is Frank Castle ironed up, crushing this guy into the ground.
Yeah.
I was so excited reading this issue that all the bullshit I told you about me wanting to drop it was gone.
I know. I was like, I
literally watched him punish somebody, like not even
hard.
shoot him.
He just runs into him.
It was great. I loved this issue so much.
It's action packed. So if you like your action packed Punisher, but there's also a lot of good moments. Like, you have where like drafting and things like that, where you're in like a foreign state where you have no choice, but your children have to go in the military. Yep. And the mom's like, no, like I don't want this for my son. And Frank Castle comes in, and
this seems this seemed like less of a drafting. This was, we are bringing your son unwillingly into our militia group.
You're right.
This is forced militarizing.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm already looking at this next panel where now Frank has grabbed what? Shoots the one or just grabs the one?
He's basically the leader of this group trying to get this kid in.
I then love that his suit warns Frank, someone without your gear couldn't survive going this fast.
He's like, I'm going to keep going.
That's fine.
Right. He's like, good to know. And basically, he murders him in midair. Like, legitly. The whole point of this issue is like Frank is trying to find General Petrov because he's been creating all these factions all over the state because that's what Nick Fury wanted him to do with this tech. And what's nice about this is like he's not always in the armor. Like sometimes he'll get out and like talk to people. Like if it's something he's having a conversation with, he usually takes off his mask right now. But I think he's getting more and more obsessed with wearing the armor.
Well, this was a nice. I can't say enough good things about this issue.
Yeah.
But like you said, Frank takes his helmet off. The mom or grandmother wants to give Frank a meal for saving her son, and Frank's like, I don't want it. And the son goes, "You're gonna insult her if you don't take it." Fine. So he takes his helmet off and eats it. Fine. What is this? And she tells him. He spits it back out and
he's
goes,
like,
"This is awful. Yeah, it's not good." But it was a good moment right there.
Right.
Seeing Frank take his mask off. He's not, he's not trying to hide who he is. He's doing the right thing through this family because he's done something great for them. So
right.
I enjoyed that, like, real life person type of thing.
Exactly. And then you get like, when you guys were talking about Punisher Platoon, you kind of get some of that in this book because he's still focused on his like military training. He's trying to use all his skills that he's organized throughout his entire life to find this Petrov. And basically he goes to one base that he thinks like there's the only base, and they're all laughing like, haha, you're never going to get in here, blah, blah. And Frank Castle finds a way. He gets in like he's cutting a knife through butter. He goes through this entire camp and like kills all the soldiers that are like holding all these prisoners hostage and whatnot. Come to find out that, well, I guess I'm not going to skip over the scene. There's the leader of this prison and he holds a prisoner hostage, and Punisher, without like letting their time even like a second go by, shoots him in the head. It's like, I'm not going to, he doesn't play games. He just does it.
I think that the thing that I imagine in this book is it could be all automized by, or what's the right word? Autonomized? It could be auto through the computer that he's in. I don't think the computer's the one controlling that handgun or gauntlet gun.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Frank just shot him.
Oh, yeah. Frank is in more control than the AI will ever be. It
is so good. Because even, we'll get to it in a little bit.
Like, there's a 2-page spread where you basically see Frank Castle knock out 6 other bases. Just by little scenes of it. And it's so cool. It's like, what would somebody with Frank Castle's demeanor do if he was put in this situation? Like, if Iron Man was in here, he wouldn't kill all these people. He might kill some, but he would be focused more on saving people, and that's not all that Punisher's trying to do. He's trying to decommission every single base that he goes to until he finds the leader of this group.
And say he's killing 2 birds, 1 stone. His job is he wants to interrogate to find out who he's looking for. If he saves these people, great. He's doing that to save people. He's punishing these bad men. Oh.
And we finally got your answer. Alex was like, when he was thinking about dropping this, he's like, yeah, we know that like there's not going to be a threat big enough to like defeat him unless it's like a supervillain. And here we go. Punisher's just decimating this army group, and then finally, you see a scene where he gets shot from behind, and it turns out this military coup has its own mecha suits as well to take on.
I tell you what, this was actually the saving grace. To be fair, the first couple panels were amazing, but knowing that, okay, it's not just Frank gonna go obliterate everybody, which is great.
Right.
It's nice to know that there is a threat that even he may not be able to handle.
So there's actual stakes.
And that's what I want. I know Frank is never gonna die, but I need to know that Frank is gonna be feeling some pain.
Well, what's cool about this too is you see throughout the last 3 issues that Frank's suit is like nearly like, it's so powerful, it's so hard to overcome. And then these guys have suits that are like better than his.
Yep.
And there's tons of them. Like you start out, he's fighting one dude and he ends up killing him. And then turn the page.
Kills him the best way.
Yeah.
Gouges his eyes out with his thumbs.
Yeah, he uses his gauntlets, the pressure with his Iron Man gauntlets, and crushes his eyeballs in.
Oh, God, I love this book.
Come to find out, there's like 6 other mech suits that are just waiting for him. Like they're pissed off now because they just killed one of their own. And so the Punisher and these guys duke it out, and he ends up killing quite a few of them, but there's just too many of them to overcome. And
when he's lost power,
right,
at least twice.
So he's trying to, because like they know where his weaknesses are in his suit and things like that. So literally, there's still some cool, like you can see that this is all Frank fighting. This isn't like the suit fighting, except for the part where he punches someone in the face, like 4 times, like mecha style. That was pretty cool. But at the end of the issue, they overpower him and he ends up falling in the water. His power shuts down while he's also tumbling through water. So there's like, is he going to survive? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, duh, he's going to survive. But it's very cool to see like what's going to happen next. Like, I think this has been a lot of adrenaline induced, like storytelling. There's some nice moments that's like serious and other moments that are funny, but mostly it's like action oriented. And, sometimes there's not a lot of content when you're dealing with an action book, but I think this has quite a bit of story it's trying to tell at the same time. It's a badass book.
Well, I agree. I was so ready to drop this book, and I love the Punisher. And You're right, this book has a lot of content. It's not just Frank killing guys. He's got a mission. He's doing a job for Fury. He runs into a group of mercenaries who it sounded like I don't think we're hired by Fury.
Well, that's what Fury's like. Hey, I need you to do me something. I need you to do me a favor.
So I'm guessing these are who Frank will end up fighting his way to or through to get to the boss.
Right.
I actually do hope he keeps the suit because now that I know that other people can take him on, I'm cool with him wearing the suit.
Right. And I think like there's so much opportunity for great Punisher stories with this suit. Beyond just, a couple thugs in the alley.
Yeah.
So, very excited to see what happens next. The art by Villanova, some of the best art I've ever seen in a comic. And those covers that he does, so good.
Yes.
Like this cover here where Iron Man's standing over like fugitives or like children and women. Amazing. Protecting them. So, very excited to see what happens next. I give this issue a 9. Last issue I'd give a 10, but this I give a 9. This is close to a 10 for me though.
I would agree. I would give this a 9. This book delivered on what I wanted. I wanted a Punisher who's kicking ass and Frank who is still he's still Frank Castle, but he does live a human type of life where he's willing to do the traditional or the him accepting that shitty meal from that mom meant a lot to me in this book that he's not like fuck you guys.
He's not like a dick.
Yeah, he's not being a dick about it. He's just like, you know what? You're right.
Whatever gets this moving along, I have a mission to do. Let's do it.
And I can't get over him crushing that first guy.
Right. So, yep. All right.
Good stuff. Punisher, Matthew Rosenberg, number 220. That's Coyotes, number 3. Excuse me. Royal City, number 9. Michael Cray, number 4. Daredevil, 597. And Mr. Miracle, number 6 of 12. I almost said Mayor Fist, number 597. I would read Mayor Fist book. I read a Kingpin book, so obviously I would read a Kingpin book. So, sorry, I got to readjust myself there. In the chair.
In this chair, not himself.
Those are the books that were coming out this week for January 10th. Good books. Pick up some books. You know what I thought about recently? Because there was a report that came out recently that comic book sales are down 10% in December.
Not from Garrett and I.
Not for you two. You guys are probably keeping up the business.
Yep.
And there's been a lot of reports recently for local, I guess, North Dakota, Iowa, and then there's one in Brookings of comic book stores closing. Aren't doing so great. I was just thinking that now it's the perfect time more than ever if you know somebody who is interested in comics to tell them to get into comic books. So I don't know why I bring that up every week, but also like I was saying, these movies make millions of dollars. Yeah, let's start reading these books here.
Read the source material.
Supercon 2018, The Return of the Con, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Featuring guests like Tony Fleece, Shay Fontana, Science Steve, and brought to you by Wednesday Comics, Phil Hester. Phil Hester is an Eisner Award-winning comic book artist. Phil is from Iowa. He's known for his runs on Nightwing, The Flash, Season 0, Teen Titans, and many more. He's currently drawing Batman Beyond for DC and Shipwreck for Aftershock. Wednesday Comics is proud to present Phil Hester at Supercon. Go to supercon.com for more information. We're going to play Flash Facts, a little game.
The Flash.
Hey, I need my phone of this. Let me get my phone out. I got to get at the timer.
I'm sorry. I forgot in Coyotes that when Red goes to find the manager guy, she runs into a group of wolves.
Right.
Coyotes, so.
Timer. Let's put the timer on here. You guys are going to get 5 seconds. Oh, no. Let's just a stopwatch because I got to He's going to keep going. We're going to keep going. 5 seconds each for each one of these, right? I'm going to ask you a question. You have to answer it within 5 seconds. That's flashbacks. I don't have my bell here.
This is the first thing that's right that comes into my head for an answer.
The first thing that comes to your head. I don't have my bell here to ring you if you aren't.
So just go ring.
If you go past the time, I'm going to move on. So I'll just move on. You'll just see me divert my eyes and to the next person.
You think I'm going to be looking at you when I answer these questions?
I got it on paper today. Going old school. That's Garrett's Attack of the Trades.
What the fuck?
First round, 5 questions. Not each, just 5 questions back and forth. It starts with Garrett, so you get 3 and you get 2. Second round, 5 questions. Start with you. You'll get 3, you get 2. And then last one's 4, and you each get 2. So here we go. 5 seconds each. First round, I'm going to start it. Now remember, first answer in your head, and it's going to stick. So everybody listening, these are the answers that they're going to go with. I might ask them a question, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Pink.
But what if you were...
Of course, Garrett.
See Garrett, he can't think of a color quick, and he says pink? That's the answer, though.
It really is my favorite color.
If you see him in the street, just say, hey, man, want a pink shirt? Sell him one.
Dude,
buy it.
I would wear pink. I look good in pink.
Yeah. Pink's a good color. I like pink.
Flashback. No,
Salmon. That's what they call it because people don't want to buy pink.
They don't.
Here we go. By the way, also, if you do remember flashbacks, the last round is longer questions. You don't get more time. I'm just going to ask you a longer question, and then you'll probably get dinged out.
Shit.
So here we go. Actually, do you want to hit start in there whenever you're ready?
Ready? Go.
Here. Favorite DC book right now?
Superman.
Alex, what's your favorite Image book?
Royal City.
What's your what comic book are you looking forward to, Garrett?
Punisher.
Alex, what's your favorite comic book game?
Comic book game.
Yeah.
DC game.
What's your favorite turtle, Garrett?
That'd be Raphael.
Oh, that's round 1 of flashbacks. I'm a video game.
Wait, nobody wasn't going to know that.
If I say game, don't you?
When you said what book you were looking forward to, I was like coming up or like coming out soon.
Say, I'm blaming the asker of the questions here. There's not.
You can't blame me.
I just did.
I'm
flashbacks.
I'm like Flash. I'm figuring it out.
You know what happened to Flash? He got shot in the leg and blown up.
Taken out.
Run into some fucking walls.
You saw how he
jog his memory.
You saw how he was a dumbass.
That would be Marvin if it was the Flash.
What the fuck's going on? I want a New York Times story.
New York Times flashbacks.
Get out of there. Here we go. Reset the clock.
Alex
All right,
first.
Alex
Ready?
first. Yo, what's your
Okay.
What's your favorite Marvel book?
Ooh, Moon Knight.
Alex, Garrett, excuse me. What's your favorite X-Men?
Wolverine.
Alex, what's your favorite completed series of all time?
Fudge. Fuck. Batman New 52.
Garrett, what's your favorite Image book?
Coyotes.
Alex, what's the worst comic book movie you've ever seen?
Green Lantern.
Well, that's round 2. Flashbacks.
Nice. That's a good answer.
Alex almost lost it on favorite completed series of all time, but you literally got it in within a tenth of a second of your end. So I was actually, did you see me? I moved over to Garrett. I was about to ask him.
I couldn't. Yeah, I tell you what. Some of these questions are fucking hard.
Batman.
Your favorite completed series of all time is what? New 52 Batman run?
I would totally put Ultimate Spider-Man.
We haven't read it all. I couldn't say that. Or actually, should be
Scotty Snipe?
Gotham Central.
Too late now.
I know. It's official.
Yeah.
Ready?
So make sure when
It's kind of like when you do a top 5 of artists and you don't put Chris Samney. Something like that.
And then someone never puts them on there.
Start that fucking
Ready?
clock.
Okay.
You can be one DC villain. Who are you, Alex?
Joker.
That's a quick answer. I thought it'd be taking longer. Garrett, what's one trade you would give to a new reader?
Watchmen.
Jesus.
Really? Alex, Gail Simone's going to write a new Wonder Woman book. Who do you want for the artist?
Jenny Frishon.
Oh, yeah. I thought these would take longer. You guys got answers on point. Garrett, you have the power to make one Marvel movie in the cinematic universe. What is it?
Silver Surfer.
Done. All right, done. I'm not even saying done with this game. I'm saying we're done with this podcast. Yeah, they had.
I fucking
you got the wait.
I don't know. I was thinking of a movie that hadn't been made yet.
Four, I figured you'd say, or
You gotta wait then and make sure they get those rights.
Silver
Who
Surfer.
would I actually want?
Silver Surfer. We heard it here first.
Yeah, I have no idea who else I'd pick for Marvel.
And that's Marvel's first. They're like, we just got these fucking rights. We got a Fantastic Four. We got fucking X-Men.
Blade, actually.
Now
would
we
be
got
cool.
Spider-Man officially for us.
And then they're like,
Silver Surfer all the way.
Or Ghost Rider would be sweet.
Although Galactus would be in that book or in that movie. So
I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be bad. I'm just saying I don't think that's their first shot.
Come on, that Dan Slott book was selling for quite a bit.
Yeah, it was good.
was it good? I haven't read it.
I didn't read it. Though.
I read the first trade. It was good.
Spudge's brother didn't get it. Of course, it wasn't Spider-Man. It was,
I didn't really like that art style.
I do. All red. You like all red, right? Like all red.
I don't know.
You know.
Is he all red up? Is he sunburnt?
What were you saying? Oh, Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider already showed up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That wasn't me, but okay.
No, that was Robbie Reyes. I want Johnny Blaze.
No, but I mean they've had the rights for a while. They got the rights back for Punisher, Blade, and Ghost Rider.
fuck Punisher then. It's just a Punisher. I mean, I know they're doing TV shows.
I'd still want Thomas Jane
Yeah,
I would want a Blade movie.
Blade would be sick.
without Wesley Snipes.
Why does it have to be Wesley Snipes?
I said without Wesley Snipes.
yeah.
Dipshit. Gosh.
Idris Elba.
Open up your ears.
They just announced that Black Widow movie they're doing. They're actually going to do a Black Widow.
Is that actually going to be with Scarlett Johansson?
Too late though because Jennifer Lawrence is going to be in a movie called Red Sparrow. Have you seen a trailer for Red Sparrow?
Yeah.
That movie looks- I
that is
hate
Black
Jennifer
Widow.
Lawrence.
I don't know why I saw that trailer and I was like, Marvel, you missed the mark. And then like 2 years later, they're like, hey, we're making Black Widow movie. And I was like, yeah, because you saw that trailer and you're like, oh, people were making movies.
If
I
they
know,
can-
that's what I thought of instantly.
If they make it, then they need to. I want them to make sure they got like Recluse and the other spider
Yeah.
named girls in there.
I mean, it can work. I saw people being like, what's that going to be about? I was like, yeah, there's
Red
story there. But,
Or,
yeah, the
her,
Red,
or her doing her own thing. I mean,
If you
Red
did, the
Room
one,
could have already
if you did the one
passed.
that Sammy did just
Yeah.
now, that would have been awesome.
yeah. I think
but-
maybe that's part of it.
Have her
that-
jump out of a helicarrier.
It's part of it that for a while, Marvel Studios was like, how do you do that even though? And Mark and Chris were like, no, we'll show you.
First 10 minutes is just her silently running away. Holy shit, goes up against Weeping Lion. That would be my favorite movie.
The thing about that trailer, though, of her free falling out of the helicarrier, and then you don't see it, like, it just cuts
Hey,
out.
Marvel, if you listen to this, you're probably not, but I'll put it out there for you. The director of The Raid, let's get that on Black Widow. Let's do it. Oh, no, the Black Widow, the director of The Raid is doing, what are they doing?
Raid 3.
No, they're doing, I'm going to look it up.
You told us about it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, they're already
remember what it was.
They're already doing a movie.
Good, the bad, and the ugly.
Let's see. Raid director.
Yeah, that Red Sparrow doesn't. I mean, it looks good, but like, I don't know. I can't stand Jennifer Lawrence, so
I used to
full of
really like
herself.
her, and I'm not a fan of hers anymore.
yeah.
I watched Mother recently. Mother with the exclamation point.
Mama?
Mother. And I liked it. It was good. She was good in it. So.
Probably a good movie. I don't know. I just can't stand her.
I get that. I kind of want to see.
Deathstroke. Jesus Christ. I forgot.
Oh,
He's doing Deathstroke.
Oh, really?
oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
That's
So,
pretty good.
never mind. He's taken. But Jackie Chan. Here we go. Jackie Chan.
Boom.
Hey, why isn't Jackie Chan? The man's out there sacrificing his life day in and day out for these cheapo movies. The man knows how to direct. If you ever watch Jackie Chan direct a movie, he's awesome. He knows how to do a stunt coordinating. He just do everything.
I wonder how that one
Why-
with him and Pierce Brosnan went. I want to see that one.
What was the movie that you and I had watched that he literally got electrocuted when he rolled down that pipe? It's like Police Story or
Yeah, it was
Cop?
Police Story, yeah.
Okay. That was a good movie.
That's what I mean. Like, and I think he directed that
That was
movie.
his,
And he did stunts for that movie. He did a stunt coordinating for that movie.
I
So
think he
like,
jumps like, 4
but
stories?
I mean, now,
It's-
like, he's at a point he's still doing that kind of shit. And somebody should really be like, a big studio should be like, hey, here's a big amount of money. Don't have to do that. We just want you to be the director. Obviously, you have a good eye for fight scenes and like, for
For the love of God, do Rush Hour 4.
Let's do a fucking, like, even like a Iron Fist.
Be sweet.
Get him to direct one of those episodes. Let's do it. I don't understand. What are you doing? That's like gold nobody's picking at. They want to get this guy for the Raid. Obviously, that's a good movie. But they go and seek him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go, hey, you want to do that? You want to do Deathstroke? And he's like, all right, do Deathstroke. Why is nobody knocking at Jackie's door? That's what I want to know.
I wonder if Jackie has said before, I don't want to do these type of things. I do it because I enjoy it. Didn't he? He created the like drunken style, hadn't he?
Yeah.
For
Drunken
that-
Master.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie's so good.
That's
Jack-
one of those things I needed to get.
His
It.
movie-
So
movies
is
are great.
what's the movie where it's him and Jet Li? The Forbidden Kingdom.
Yeah.
That movie's so fucking good. So good. He's Drunken Master in that movie.
I like how, and it's nothing against you, but I like how me and Alex are like naming all his older movies where he's like young and like doing all these fight scenes, and you're naming all these Hollywood movies. Not that you didn't really.
No, Forbidden Kingdom. You're talking about Drunken Master, so I associated with
I'm just saying
Drunken
we're-
Masters in that movie.
That's what he created. It was in that movie.
I'm just saying we're naming movies where he almost died, and you're playing it. safe
yeah,
with
when
Forbidden
those
Kingdom.
movies came out, when you guys were 10 and I was not born,
Hey, no,
I
we watched,
understand.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago. Me and Alex had like a summer
watched-
of Washington movies.
Yep.
We watched also like A-Team or something like that, or not A-Team, A-Force. Something about him being a race car driver.
Yep.
You remember that?
Speedway or something like that.
And in that movie, he dressed up like Chun-Li. So he obviously likes Street Fighter. Get him to do a Street Fighter movie.
Holy shit.
Let's do it.
That would be epic.
WednesdayComics605 at gmail.com. That's the email address. Send us an email. Let us know what you're thinking about. Let us know what books you're picking up. I'm really interested. Let us know what your pull list looks like. What are people getting out there? Is something out there we got to be reading?
No.
We talk about some books and you're like, hey, why don't they ever talk about this? Let us know WednesdayComics605 at gmail.com or on Twitter at WednesdayComics. You can let us know on Twitter. I'm on the Twitter every day at Marvin Sarguero or Alex at Alex Pastrello. Or excuse me, Marvin _Sarguero. Get that underscore in there, otherwise you won't reach me. Garot2188.
Just do it.
Do what?
And at Pastrami News, if you want to see no tweets, go there. Oh, that guy died. He got killed.
I think last time Pastrami put something out was
last week.
To be fair,
I put something out about the
Last
three of
week.
us.
To be fair, Pastrami has tweeted more recently than Garot, so Garot might be dead.
I'm just waiting until my comeback.
Facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. Leave us a Facebook message or post on the wall. Like I said, is there a book you're reading we're not talking about? Let us know. Go to YouTube, find the Wednesday Comics. This audio podcast will be on there, but also go there for the Gauntlet. These two Gauntlet holders will show you the 6 gems of their week, and also more content coming soon. We'll talk about that off air, but
I was like, I didn't know about that.
we talked about it last week. We want to do
There's a
more.
7th gem.
We want to do more
I knew
stuff
about
like
that.
we were doing before, like the
called Don't Be a
collection
Dumbass.
videos and stuff like that. So,
Oh, I see.
who knows?
Now it's on there.
Maybe you want to see us play that DC game? We can do it.
To be fair, I'm not fun to watch play games because I'm pretty serious when I play games.
I know.
So
You want to see Alex staring into the camera, serious.
unless you're gonna watch me play Avalon or Resistance, where all I'm doing is yelling at you guys to get you to tell me stuff, then maybe you're fine.
That might be the perfect catalyst. If we did a DC game, obviously I'm going to be fucking joking around to jazz it up for that video. And then this guy over here,
got a
Alex,
new-
would be super serious. He might get pissed.
I got a new Batman game where Batman's disguised as one of the villains, and you're playing a poker game to weed him out.
Oh, really? What's it called?
It's almost got him, like the episode from the
Awesome.
animated series.
Rock on.
Dude. I've been wanting to play it with somebody. No one will play it with
You
me.
how come you haven't told us about that?
I know. I
That's
just
the
told
first
you now.
That
I bought
sounds
it.
awesome.
time. How long have you had it?
Like
6
months.
years?
Yeah, some friend.
What the fuck? I haven't
To be
even
fair, we
played
didn't get
it.
invited to that movie yesterday. Or today.
605
I just mentioned it to you guys. I didn't want you to show
1849. That's our voicemail. Once again, so Garrett was talking. 605 215 1849. Leave us a voicemail. You know what? Leave us a voicemail and tell us how you got into comics. I'm interested. Let's talk about it. We're talking about how to get new people into. How do you get into it? We talked about it on the show before. You have to go way back. But we've talked about how we got into it. So let me know how you get into comics. Hey, Alex, that book club we're having, what's it about?
We're getting Day Tripper.
What's the club called, Alex?
I can't say all those
Wednesday
words.
Comics Leave Extraordinary Gentle People proudly presents Day Tripper.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Is it Fabio Moon and Gabriel Ba?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, look, clear up a little confusion last week. We said March, but it's actually April.
It will be April.
I fucked up.
was correct,
Alex
and no
was
one
correct.
gives a shit.
And we ganged up on being like, you dumb motherfucker.
I never called you dumb. I did call you a mother.
I did call you dumb. I did call you dumb, being like, of course it's shorter. We got February in there, but I cut it short by a month.
Because you already thought we were in February.
The first Wednesday in April, get your voicemails, tweets, Facebook, whatever, how you want to send content, go ahead and do it about Day Tripper in. And we'll talk about it on that Thursday. But we'll record on Thursday, so that's why we need it by that Wednesday. Let's know, Day Tripper. Like I told you, get that book together. And you get some tissues. You're gonna cry.
Dude, I am so excited to reread this book.
I'm scared to reread that book
I know.
now. If I
yeah.
cried back in the day when I didn't used to cry at anything, and these days now, like anything makes me cry. That thing, I'm gonna be dead. So many tears.
All right, guys, we'll get
Or
me
I'll be
excited to
dehydrated.
read this book. Why don't you? You think I should watch this and go watch Titanic or something?
Well, I'm going to read this,
myself
then
feel
we
better?
3, then Pride of Baghdad.
I think
I'll probably kill myself.
We talked about it on the show before. One time, Alex was like, "Did you read We 3?" Yeah, he read We 3 and was like, "Man, that was so depressing." I think he even said like he's like, I'm all teared up, but I'm not crying. I think I'm going to read Pride of Baghdad next. And I go, Alex, don't do them back to back. And he goes, I think I'm going to read it. And he did. He goes, bad choice. He goes, now I'm like really depressed.
That was like one of the worst nights for reading ever. Oh, God, that was
Especially you, like in animals, those two back to back. Yeah, you're done. Supercon 2018, Return of the Con. That's September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Wednesday Comics will be there on 28th that night doing a live show. What are we going to do? Who knows?
And we're sponsoring Phil Hester.
Philly Hester going to be there.
Really like us calling him Philly.
I don't think we should cross that line without meeting him.
Mr. Hester himself going to be there. The artist right now currently on Batman Beyond. Former artist on Swamp Thing and a whole slew of things. Go to supercon.com for more information on Phil and also more information on how you can get tickets. I don't think they're not for sale right now, but they'll be up there pretty soon. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter for more information. Rootsoftheswampthing.com. That is Holland Files number 2 came out recently. If you pre-ordered it, it should be arriving to you soon. We got our copies. I had it right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's high quality. Like I said, go to rootsoftheswampthing.com. Subscribe to DC World Swampy on Twitter. Go to facebook.com/Roots of the Swamp Thing. Make sure you are in the know so that when number 3 is coming up, you get your pre-order in. Don't miss out on this winter special. They're putting ads out now for their winter special of Swamp Thing. It's coming soon. You're going to read that and be like, man, I love the Swamp Thing. How can I know more? You missed out. Well, go to rootsofswampthing.com with a lot of information. You can go there too. Or go to, like I said, subscribe to DC World Swampy. You get a thing every day. It tells you a little about history. I know that's most of my information from Swamp Thing comes from that website. So make sure, just remembered, make sure, go to iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, now on Spotify. Subscribe to the show. Make sure on Spotify, I think you can follow the show. That's what they call it there. New episode comes out, I'll let you know. Hey, it's inside. If every once in a while, I know the show comes out every Sunday, but every once in a while, if I finish it early, if I edit it early, I just hit, hey, publish. You'll get it early. You're not going to get it early.
You should give me that marker so I can write it on there to remind you to say those things.
Well, next week. I don't know the markers. I'll find it out. Yeah, I'll write a sheet of paper.
Like that one podcast we did for like an hour.
20 minutes. If you don't know what that is, look at the episode Lost in the Phantom Zone. For 20 minutes, I didn't record and we did a show.
Yeah.
And then I started the show in a panic, being like, let's get this thing started. That's old Marvin. Now I'm calmed down. I'm down to this level. But subscribe to us. Like I said, if you enjoy our show and you want to get somebody interested in the show, but you don't know if they'll understand podcasts and how that works, show them Spotify. Spotify is easier. You can stream it there. Hey, or if you're ever, on a different computer and you're like, how I'm going to listen to one of these episodes, Spotify right there, stream it. There you go. Listen to the episode. Another day, another dollar. Here we are with Wednesday Comics. The Power Comics brought me, Tuesday I was almost dead. I had no voice. Power Comics brought me back for that forecast. We're here today.
Did it have to?
Before the show started, had a lot of coughing going on. Look right now, no coughs. But during your guys' segments, I was coughing a little bit. So if you're hearing that background, apology. But like I said, Power Comics again brought me through. Do you think they should grind down comics? Go ahead and take all my issues. Grind them down.
I'm going to pretend I'm not even listening to you.
Listen, grind them down to a pulp.
It already sounds stupid when you say
inject it inside your body, and then you become immune to all diseases. That's something they haven't tried yet. Should they try it?
No, you're an idiot if you think that's going to work.
I'm going to try.
All it's going to do is clog your blood arteries.
All that means is that you're eating wood. So
what?
Paper?
No, it's comics. Once they put ink on there and there's a story, then it becomes magical.
Okay, then the ink would probably kill you.
Then you're eating magical wood.
Hey, you guys are going to be very jealous when I grind up an issue of Flash, inject it inside me, and I got super speed. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you would run into the wall and kill yourself.
You know
fucking kill him.
I already grinded down and injected inside me the issue of Calendar Man. So
never have a sense.
The man who can't remember dates.
I'm almost a month ahead. That's why I missed that month.
That does make sense.
Wednesday Comics. I've been Marvin. Hey, you know what I just thought right now? When you guys,
a squirrel?
When you guys leave, I am going to grind these all up and I'm going to inject them. And next week when you come to the show, I'm going to be like in a comic book encyclopedia. That's how much I'm going to know.
Oh, and you don't remember that your favorite artist is Chris Samney?
What the? My name is Marvin.
I am Alex.
And I'm Garrett.
Hey, everyone, keep turning those pages.